do 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 do.
Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 367. I'm Chris Adams, the Taken Master, joined by
Salt and Pepper's here, and we're in. Oh, sorry, I was still on the push it thing. Sorry for being Echo 5.
And Traptical.
So yeah, we've got some which been playing. It's the final week of the month, so we've got some RRR to look forward to the July game releases.
Yar.
And some news. Although I don't know if we have any news because I wasn't like, hey, Tropical, I got some news before we started. But hey, whatever.
Of course he does.
We can totally do it live because we totally have done it live. And like, I think I've got it down to do it live, even though usually when we do it live, it doesn't go too good. But hey, whatever. We'll get there when we cross that bridge and stuff.
At least one big thing went down, so...
Yes, that's true. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, the thingy about the thingy.
The thingy.
With the in people.
Oh,
Company that starts
yeah.
with the in, not like, you know, because there's an in word and I don't want you to be like, oh, what's in mean, Tegan? What's up with that?
Oh no.
So yeah, that company that starts
Crossing
with
those lines, guys. We're crossing those lines.
Anywho,
Oh, man.
from that opening to so, what happened this week in Final Fantasy with Buju team and the Seed Kids? So we defeated the Fusion Raijin combo boss fight.
And Lunatic Pandora?
And yes, at Lunatic Pandora. And then it was like, into disc 3, move on to disc 4. And I was like, oh yeah! And I was like, oh yeah, disc 4! And then it's like, boss fight again! Against Adele! And she's got a whole Renoa hostage situation going on where she's like leeching health from her. And it's like, oh, well, that's just fantastico. And, well, the first time I tried, she killed me. So I didn't like have any issues of like not having Renoa not make it through. So now it's just a matter of not dying, and we'll see where we get. But, you know, the goal is to be done with this game by the end of the month so I get my 2DS XL, or new 2DS XL, whatever, and just be like, you know, farewell, I mean, not farewell Vita, but like, you know, I got some other sweet things to take care of on this Nintendo handheld, and Vita, you served me well for the last however many years, but it's time to go back to Nintendo Town, because, I need some, yeah, until the Switch can drop prices. I mean, it'd be nice if they could play 3DS games, but hey, I guess they just want, you know, when you can sell 2 pieces of hardware and not just one. Because money.
Money.
Why would you not do that? So yeah, that's going down. And yeah, and there's a Metroid game coming out in like sometime this year, and you know, I'm all about that Metroid. So yeah, but
It's all about that Metro.
Samus Return is this year.
yeah,
No trouble.
it is.
Mm.
Besides that, I guess I'll start with the Destiny game that nobody plays anymore, unless you're Tekken and you're just like, I hate myself so much, I do this to myself every week. I don't need to, but I do. It's a vision quest of outlasting everybody else, and I did. So even though I lost, I still won. But Age of Triumph boxes open and stuff, and I got some. What did I get this week actually? I got the Spec Ops skin for my multi-tool. So yeah, I've only been wanting to get that since that was a thing. So that took like, you know, however long, very long, since like we're almost done with year 3, and like Destiny's almost over. But I finally got it, guys. So yeah.
Now and forever.
Yeah.
Still need to do my Age of Triumph questline thingy to get my class items for that, but it's like, dude, yeah, at the time to do that, it's just like, I'm just like, I roll every time I think about it, and I'm like, I would rather do XYZ, and it's like, this game is so on the bottom of my list. I only played it because it's like, well, it's almost podcast time, but I can fit this in right here and get it done, so that's what I did, and then it's like, spending more time playing this game is kind of a waste of time, so it's like, we'll see if it gets done. But I'll probably do it because, you know, it's me and I'm weird and crazy, so yeah. Other game I've been playing, besides that, well, okay, so I played some Virtual Console this week because we'll talk about it in the news. It's the thing, one of the things we talked about, the big thing, and I was like, I need to temper my gamer my gamer sense that is tingling, yeah, and I need to like do something because it's gonna drive me crazy because my brain was all like, I want it now. I want it now. Oh, but it's like, whoa, whoa. It doesn't come out until September. Slow down, dude. Like, come on. Come on. Like, what is wrong with you? And, like, A, that, and then B, would you rather play games from 20 years ago or 20 days ago? What's wrong with you? And then my frontal lobe was just, like, wrestling control back from my brain of, like, my crazy, nostalgic part of my brain of, like, oh, the glory days, the 90s golden era. Oh, I remember it so well. Oh, I was deprived as a child. I never got to play through that console because I had a Sega Genesis. Oh, yeah, it'll be so great. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 crazy brain. Whoa, crazy brain. We have a virtual console, and we have, like, a bunch of these games, except for, like, maybe 6 or something. And, like, the ones we don't have those games, except for, like, the 2 you can get now, and, like, the sweet thingy that's coming out in September. So, let's just effing play them, so you didn't have to play them back
desire.
then. And I was like, that's a good idea, frontal lobe. Or my crazy brain was like, that's a good idea, frontal lobe. It'll sate my hunger and my bloodlust, or not my bloodlust, but my retrolust.
Well, that can't
of
be
the
helped.
old nostalgia-ness. So let's do it. So I played some Super Mario World. I got Blue Yoshi, but then the effing ROM didn't save my progress, and I was like, no. So I need to redo that.
ROM.
Or like, I guess, I don't know. I like completely forgot like how the virtual console works. Like if you're playing it off like the SD card versus like the system memory, as far as like, does it save? Does it not save? How does it save? How does it even save? I don't know. Whatever. Because like even my FB Metroid game, Super Metroid, or my Super Metroid save file like wasn't on there, and I was like, I remember getting pretty far in Super Metroid. So it's like, where the F is my save file game? And it's like, I don't know, Dragon. Is it on here? And it's like, whoa, what the F? And then I loaded up like F in Super Mario Kart, worked just fine. Save file just fine. And then I was like, you know what? I like this so I'm having so much fun playing this the old ones game that I will play some other old ones game that's not as old. But hey, Mario Kart 64, because that game is never gets old. Played that. I was like, yeah, that scratches the itch right there. Oh yeah, just keep going. Oh yeah, and then
Well, this is starting to sound very inappropriate.
And I also played some Link to the Past, which I have not yet finished. But my save file was on that too, so I'm like, what the F game? Where's my Samus file? Ah, but it's fine, because after Metroid Prime 4, and I'm just like, ooh, Samus. Oh, Samus, you're not coming back for another couple of years. I got plenty of time to catch up with you, so I'm all about trying to play some Metroid right now, just to fill that time with Samus, or fill our time before the Metroid for Prime time with some fun hang out with Samus and have adventure time. So no problem there. So did that, and yeah, I also played some Super Metroid, so that happened too, and yeah, some good old nostalgia-festic times. And then besides that, I did a thing, and I got a thing, and I finally was able to play some PlayStation VR and have some fun adventures in PlayStation VR land. And man, it was pretty cool, I gotta say. Like, it is true. Like what Tropical and everybody else says. Like, you can't really describe it. You can't. As Morpheus would say, you can't take the red pill and like whatever, man. You can take the blue pill and then just like have all that stuff happen to you. Like just fall through the ship, fall in the sewage, have the Never Connector pick you up, and then get plugged in and be like, yes, because that's what it's like. It's like, I mean, I wouldn't have that GIF and be like, this is what I feel like when I play VR, and then like have like Neo getting like just the spike going into his thingy, and then like jacking in and be like, oh yeah, and then just like being in it, because man, when you're like, okay, like okay, focus.
Words.
A long time ago on the podcast, Tropical said something about like when you're watching a movie, it's like looking into a painting or something. But like when you're playing VR, it's like you're going into that painting and you're in that world, because it's like you're in the space and like the 3D like effect of like when you like look up and like you're in the environment. So it's like, oh, the sky, and then like you look down, it's like, oh, the floor, and then it's like left and right, and then like it's really okay. So the first game I played was Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing thingy, Rogue One mission. Whew, man. Yeah. Effing LucasArts, not LucasArts, but EA, man. Like, what the F, man, DICE? Like, you can't just, like, leave me hanging. I mean, I love Killjoy, too. Like, he's one of my favorite characters in that movie. And, like, he's in the game. I mean, he's not in the game, but, like, he's there. And, like, you're doing stuff. And it's like, oh, sorry to cut this short, but that's it. And it's like, what? You can't leave me hanging. That was like, oh, F you. And then, like, it's cool the way it starts when there's like an AT-AT, just like walk in and you look up. It's like it was a very Jurassic Park moment. I just felt like I was like, oh VR, this is it. Oh, this is amazing. It's like, oh, just and then like you get to the thingy where you're going into the ship and like you can switch views and it's like what is this even doing? And then I'm like, oh, it means you can like look at it from different angles and check it out, man, because you're all like in it, woo, yeah. And then you get into the cockpit and it's like, oh man, and then like you look down and it's like, I got legs, I got arms. I mean, it's not like you move your stuff and like stuff happens, but it's so cool. But it's like, because it's like, you know, you're like your body is like mapped to where you are positionally in the game. So it's like, oh man, and then like you're looking around the cockpit, it's like all the buttons, and then some of them do stuff, and it's like go to hyperdrive. Yeah. So that was cool, and then yeah, it's just, and like it's also just very intense because it's all up in your eyes and face, all up in your erogenous zone. FaceTime is great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wait,
I really want more.
Was the share video like the first one?
Yeah.
Like was Battlefront the first thing that you tried?
That was the first one I did. I was like, this is the top of my list, doing it. And yeah, that was some fun stuff. Let's see, what did I play after that? Oh yeah. Okay, sorry, I just remembered. Sorry. Okay, so next game was Res Infinite, and then I was playing the Res HD or Res whatever, the normal for Res, because I didn't know like Infinite was like its own thing. It's just like it's just like a stage and like other stuff, or like just like a 10-stage thing and like a boss. But oh man, okay, let me get to that secondly. But going back to Res HD, oh my gosh, like it was so cool because like it does like okay like when you look and you're like where you're looking is where the cursor is aiming, so it is very like you can use it in tandem with the controller to like look and then also lock on to the controller and DualShock. Oh, it's so good because usually when you're playing on like a normal screen you can only see to like the borders of where your TV cut off, but then when you're in VR and you have like the whole 360-degree thing. Oh my gosh, that was, man, that did things to me in my fluids excreting from my body. But man, I gotta say, like, there's like specific encounters and specific enemies that you face in that game that are like harder to lock onto when you're playing on a traditional monitor than like when you're in VR. You just got like all the screen, like you just got like yeah, like you have like infinite space because you can just like look up and down, like left and right, and like it just keeps going into the horizon. And like you can like just see your field of vision, which is like all the way there, and so you don't have to like worry about like, oh, I can't lock onto that part because it's off the screen. It's like it's always there, and it's like it's so much easier and so much more better experience. And because I played through the whole thing and I got like 100% shoot down on every stage the first time through, and then like I got to like the final stage and I didn't get hit. And like when you do that, you get like an alternate. Well, it's not like really an alternate ending. Though I think it is, I just need to like play it a second time and F up, because I'm pretty sure it is. And you get like the different wording, but then like this time it had butterflies, but I'm like, is it butterflies just because it's VR? And I was like, I don't know, because it's been a while. Like I've only done that twice, and like the last time I did it was like a very long time ago, and I couldn't even like do it after I like had gotten Res, like because I was like when I rented it a long time ago, and like after I owned it, I was like, dude, I can like never get it. But then VR, first time I did it, I was like, dude, this is like this is it. So I was like fishing all over the place, and then. But yeah, it's just like so cool, like the 360 thing, because like you're in the space, you look behind you, and it's like you see the stage, and like you look in front of you, it's like the whole field of view thing. Like, oh, that's just amazing. Just like easier to keep track of enemies. You just like look, and you just like lock on, shoot, and just so good. Res effing Infinite, the new stage. Oh my goodness, that was
Area X.
Area X, dude. That was it. That was like, you know, if you know effing VR is like jacking into the Matrix itself. Then this was like in the program Res VR, and like you're just in it doing stuff all washa. It looks so good too. That's the other thing. It's like I was playing Res HD and I was like, okay, well this is PS4 version, but I don't know, look that bad. I was like, well, whatever. I was like underwhelmed. And then I go to Area X and it just like it's like okay, like I guess this was like it was the part that was like built from the ground up for PlayStation VR and like PS4, and it looks so good. And you're just like going through it, and it is very reminiscent of like the whole Matrix 6. Like there's all the code going down, and like everything looks like a bunch of like weird thingies jump together, but there's like a pyramid on top of a pyramid, but like the pyramid's upside down, so it's like pyramid on a pyramid, but it's like the diamond shape, so it's like, oh man, so cool. And it just looks so cool, and then it's just so, it's like, it looks amazing, it plays amazing, and like the music, because it had like not, it's like, that's the other thing, it's like, after so many years of Rez being like a thing, they made a new stage, and like the music is just like so good as well. It's like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. And then the boss fight at the end, oh my goodness, that was just, I felt like Motoko Kusanagi in effing Ghost in the Shell. Like I felt like I was like in like Ghost in the Shell Sound Complex when she's going through the GUI or the graphic user interface of like all the stuff when she's hacking of like, this is my avatar and I'm going through the menus and I'm like doing all this stuff, and at the end there's something that appears and I'm just who's Motoko Kusanagi ask RPG?
I don't know.
That is the main character of Ghost in the Shell.
I was like, Tekken is.
Never heard of it.
Also known
that's
as,
not what you were going
also known
for.
as Major. She has purple or blue hair usually in the anime, and she's got a prosthetic body, and she can like do all these cool things because she's like super awesome. Well, she's like learned her skills over time to like know her body and how to use it and stuff. It's pretty
Wait,
cool.
is that white lady in the movie?
Who was actually a Japanese lady.
Spoiler.
Worst
Yeah,
adaptation ever. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, or maybe not worst, but like, you know, not a good adaptation. Just watch the anime, whatever. Anywho,
Which anime? Standalone, or are we looking at
let's see.
the
I would say
movie?
Standalone
or...
Complex Season 1, then Season 2, and then Solid State Society, and then Arise. I mean, I would
say.
I mean, you could probably do Arise before that, but it would be kind of confusing because they're two separate universes. They're not the same one. But it's pretty good.
Rise is kind of confusing if you haven't seen the other one.
But I also think that Standalone Complex is superior, so therefore it's like a better experience before Rise to be like, it was good, but I wanted more. Because like, yeah, Standalone Complex is like the full experience of like, oh dude, and then I'm gonna just move on before I just like go to the show, because Standalone Complex is my jam, and Season 1 and Season 2, and Solid State Society also just so good. But yeah, anyway, back to PlayStation VR, and like, man, that was really cool. The whole boss thingy was cool, and then it like threw me off at first because when like your trophies ding and they don't pop up, and it's like, what's going on? And then like you get out of the game, it's like, oh, I got a trophy.
Yeah.
Like you can hear it, but you never see it. So, but then I kind of like that aspect as far as it like never breaking the immersion. So it's like, I like how they did that, and like that's the decision that they went with, because that's just like a more smoother, more pleasurable experience of me just being there and like stuff happening and not interrupting it and being like, yes, take it. Everything you're seeing is happening. Don't worry about those things.
Enjoyed how erotic it was. It had such a wonderful mouthfeel. Yes.
Whatever.
Taking reviews, video games after dark.
See, after that, played some Thumper. Whew, that was some good acid on that one. Not that I've ever done drugs, or you should ever do them. Not condoning them on the podcast, but man, I imagine that if I did or had, it would probably be something
on the podcast.
probably something maybe like this, or not. Who knows? It's so cool, because it's like a roller coaster ride through the underworld, and there's just like weird stuff going down, and then the music is all building. And it's like, and it just keeps building, and then you get like these cool boss sections where it's like this evil mouth that like spits things at you, and like it bounces back and then like blow it up, and all these mechanics like turning and jumping, and what else? Turning, jumping, hovering, hitting the button. It's all rhythm based, so you have to like kind of do it perfectly. And so it gets so fast, and like I got to stage 3, but then like I couldn't figure out how to get like past this one part, so I was like, dude, I'll come back. But that was so good. I was like, man, I've been like waiting for that game since like I saw some YouTube video of it at GDC. I was like, dude, this game looks intense, and so I finally got to check it out. And so yeah, I'm definitely glad that the games I was looking forward to playing, because I was like looking forward to Rez and Thumper anyway, but I like wanted to have the VR experience. I'm glad I like held off until I had it, because it was like, to me in my brain it just made it that much more intense and better. Yes. Whew, keep pushing that button, or yeah, Tekken like something like that. Keep going. But after that, let's see. I played yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. PlayStation VR Worlds. That was cool because it was like 4 different thingies, and they're all like their own thingy, but they were like using the camera and everything differently. Because you had like the deep sea diving thingy, which is just like a whole, you're going down in like a shark tank, stuff happens, And then but then it has like different stuff that happens, like the jellyfish part. That was so cool. Okay, sorry. Because I'm just like, on a personal level, I think jellyfish are cool. So it's like, when they had like a whole thing of jellyfish, I was like, oh, jellyfish, I love jellyfish. So I was like, very mystified at that part.
Love them so much, why don't you marry him?
And then they're all around me. I was like, oh man, jellyfish all around me. Oh, this is so cool. And then like the part of the shark came out, that was cool. Like you could see like all the detail on it, like its gills and like the skin, and just it was like all up in your face, and you could just like, see, oh man, it looks so cool. And like the part of the ship and like getting the thingy out of it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then okay, I guess I'll do them in the order I played them, because I did the heist last. So I went from like that, the ocean thingy. I think I did not the alien craft. Oh wait, no, I did the alien crafting next, maybe. I don't remember. I didn't do the luge next. I did luge after I did the alien craft thingy. Yeah, so I don't remember what it was called, but it was like it put you in this like quadrupedal walker thingy. I was hoping it would have been like more freeform, but it wasn't. But you did a lot of jumping and piloting and like looking and shooting. It was pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty cool. And you're like this alien that's in this thingy in space, doing stuff and like discovering things and mining. But then there's like this beacon thingy that's like speaking to you of like, oh, don't do this. You're all the chosen one. Blah blah blah. So there's that going on.
Those parts are awesome. Like,
yeah.
It's so 3D.
It was okay. So like if Far Cry 4 is all up in your Shangri-La, this one was like all up in my Prothean beacon dream visions that I've had as Shepard. Because like on that part when it like does that thing, I was like, this must be like when Shepard had that like thing that happened to him, because like stuff just happens, and then you have like this weird vision thingy, and then like you're back to normal. I was like, whoa, that's cool. Oh, it's like, oh, that, and like the parts when like the stuff's like floating in front of you, it's like, oh, they're like talking to me, but it's just like these little thingies. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and then I did Street Luge, which was neat, but then like kind of weird, because it didn't like, it wasn't like the other stuff where it's like your body is like mapped to where you're sitting. It's just your head, so you can like lean left and right to steer. So I didn't really enjoy it as much, because like you can't really like look down and be like, oh man, this is so cool, or you're just piloting through your head tilt, which was neat, but not as enjoyable as the other stuff. But it was kind of cool to like be a street leader and like on the street level with cars coming at you. That's pretty cool. Then I think, oh yeah, I did the ball thing. Yeah, I did Street Legion. I did like the ball Tron. No, what was that? Yeah, ball Tron thing. That was super cool, because it was like it was just neat, because like you use your head, and then like it reminded me of the cyber disc or whatever disc thing, Tron disc, blah blah blah, battle disc, whatever they're called in Tron, where you're just like bouncing the ball back and forth. But you can like do stuff to it if you hit it a specific way, like curve it and all this stuff. And then like your enemy has like or your opponent has these special attacks, like they can like hit against the wall to like make it grind against it and like do all this other weird stuff. But it was neat, and I ended up losing eventually, because it was a bit tiring and a bit disorienting when like you just keep bobbing your head of just like trying to hit something. So I was like, ugh. So that was neat. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, and then the fourth one, the last one, was the best one, the heist. That was super cool, because it gave you like a hand. I mean, I probably would like enjoy this like way more with the move, because it even said like the move was like a something or enhanced blah 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 version. Yeah. I was like, oh, I only have DualShock, whatever. But man, that was like this, just like the hand in space stuff they did with that was just like super awesome. When like you could like push the button and like your hand would like do the thing, and like the certain stuff you like interact with, and I was like interacting with everything. I was like, oh man, I can pick up the lighter. Oh man, I can light the lighter. Oh man, I can light the cigar. Oh man, I can light his cigar. I was like, it was just like, man, like after like that demo to me was just like a scratch. Or not a scratch, but like a drop in the bucket as far as like the cool stuff you can do in VR versus like traditional games. Because in traditional games you do that and it's just like a button push, whatever.
Yeah,
you're not
push
like
X to mourn or pay your respects.
Yeah, and then like since it's not like super all up in your face, you're not as like in there with this like in the space thing, and like all those scenes are so cool, because like those characters are like next to you and like they're in the same room, like in that 3D environment, and you're just like you can like look there or like not look there. It's kind of like a cutscene in like Metal Gear Solid 2 or something, where it's like stuff's going down and you can either look at it or not look at it, but then it's not like to that level of like there's other stuff in the room going on, like, oh, look at that thing. It's just I'm here looking at these characters and like this really cool performance, because there's a really cool part that happens later on when they're fighting. It's like, oh, that's so cool. It's like they're just like fighting right in front of me, or like the part in the van. Oh, the part in the van, which is like so cool, because I looked out the window and I looked behind the van and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So it's like I am like in the 3D space as we're going down the road. Oh, that's so crazy. And then that was just like, oh, that was so dope. And then yeah, like that whole encounter with the van and like the bad deeds and shooting them. Oh, that was awesome. And just like your hand in space and all that cool stuff. And then the part at the end got super cool. I'm not gonna say what happens, but that was super cool. It felt like very much like if I was like play a Telltale game like that. Like that's the stuff that they would do if like stuff's going down and it's like make a choice. What are you gonna do? It's like oh I don't know what to do. And then stuff happened. I was like oh well that's what happens. And yeah, PlayStation Worlds it rocked my world and I was very like, thoroughly impressed and enjoyed it. And oh yeah, okay, that's the last thing I played because I was gonna play some other stuff that has like VR in it that I have because I have Race the Sun, some Hyper something game, and then I think Volume said it had the VR in it, some VR stuff in it.
There's a VR level or something. Mode or something like that.
And then there's something else I think I have that has VR in it, and Tekken 7, so it's like a few other things. But then like this week there's a bunch of stuff that's on sale for VR, so it's like, oh man, I'm gonna buy all the VR things. So
yeah,
totally doing that when I get paid on theirs. And then I'll report back next week. And then one of them is the Until Dawn Rush of Blood or whatever, which is after I've been like, it's so scary, and I'm like, well, I wasn't gonna do scary stuff, but now I'm liking it so much. I want to do scary stuff, and then Zafar's like, "Dude, you gotta play Resident Evil 7. It's the best one." I was like, "Okay, well, whenever it's on sale again, because it's like that game was a season pass after that game." But yeah, PlayStation VR. Totally glad I got it now because yeah, definitely those experiences you will remember them. If this was a Telltale game, you will not forget that because it happens, and you're like, "Oh man, that was cool." Because man, Res Infinite, that is going to be like scorched into my brain until I die because that was just so cool. I was just like, oh, that's the other cool thing is like you have like free movement in that one, so it's like different from like the other Res. You can like go back, go forward, stop. I was like, oh, this is super cool. It's kind of like open world, and like you have this objective to get to, and there's like a boss fight. And it's like, I want more of that. I just want like a whole game of that. I'd be super happy. I'd pay $60, please. 8-4 or 8-bit or whoever made it with them, please make it happen. Or I am 8-bit or yeah. But yeah. Besides that was my week. I was just VRing it in the VR zone, and it was a fun ride, and that was all of them. Oh wait. No, I played some Killing Floor 2 with Gamer and Zafro and Ace Dog actually, but it wasn't as cool as VR, so it's like whatever. So I mean, it's like it's not as good as Left 4 Dead either. I mean, it's okay. It's co-op shooter. It's class based, grindy. Oh, I played some Master Raid Andromeda as well. I played some multiplayer. Whatever. Tekken 7. I also played that. Some of that. I had the annual. Am I as good as King Argus yet? And I'm still not. So yeah. I mean, I won some matches, so it wasn't a complete sweep, but whatever. So still need to practice. But yeah, PlayStation VR. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I got like and the deal I got was like the Newegg thing at like $300. So I was like, yeah, definitely glad I got it at a discount, and that's all I've been playing.
Now you just gotta find some Move controllers.
Good luck with that.
Oh, so a note for you. Was that the first time you filmed with your phone for YouTube?
Yeah.
Well,
not the first time.
You know you can rotate it, right? It doesn't have to be a tall video.
Oh, well, I don't know Tropical because I never use it.
Everyone knows that.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Tekken, this is his first phone. And so it makes sense that he's doing tall video.
He doesn't know how cell phones work.
That is true. I do not. I haven't had one for the last however long they've existed.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. I watched a few of your uploads, and I was like, he doesn't seem that excited. I wonder if he's like thinking, oh, this was too expensive. But then hearing the podcast now, it's like, okay, cool. I also got new hardware this week.
Do tell, Tropical.
Finally, I found. Well, so I had a chance to get a Switch before, but then my wife and we both looked at it, and it was the gray one, and she just thought it was ugly. And to me, I was like, it feels like it's like a prototype. It doesn't feel like it's the end product the way it looks. I was like, yeah, I guess I'll wait. But then, who said it? Someone said, "Hey, well, you can just like get other Joy-Cons and then just like put those on." And I was like, that's true. So this time, so I first went and bought yellow Joy-Cons that came out for ARMS, because I asked some store people around me, and they're like, yeah, for some reason you can only find gray Joy-Cons. Like all Joy-Cons are also difficult to find. It's like this is ridiculous. This is just stupid. But then yeah, there they were, and it's like awesome. So I got yeah, and these are like neon yellow. They are very shiny yellow Joy-Cons. And then I found a Switch over the weekend. Ordered it, got here on Tuesday. It's surprisingly light. We were talking about the size. It's like too big. It's like small, but also kind of big. The first thing I did was, well, after setup, I got ARMS with it. So I played some ARMS. And that game is like, I don't know if it's really a $60 game. It doesn't, so far, like, it seems like there's a lot of content, but it's mostly just like
Don't do it,
the
Tropical.
one thing.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Like, it has a lot of different modes, but you're basically doing like the same thing in all of them. So I was like, maybe. We'll see. There seems to be like a lot of unlockable stuff, so maybe that's where you're just supposed to play it a lot. But yeah, you know, you get your new console, and it's like this novel technology, and it's like you want to try different things. So I went on the eShop and downloaded every game that had a demo, and that was Snipper Clippers, I think it's called, which is a 2-player co-op like puzzle game in which both players are I don't know, they're like a shape, and then you can overlap each other. So it's all 2D. You can overlap each other, and then where you overlap, you push a button, and like you can snip out whatever area had been overlapped, and then like you can cut each other into different shapes, and then you gotta like fit into spaces. It's like hole in the wall.
I was just about to say,
But
this
there's
sounds
no
like
time.
that
Yeah,
hole in the wall thing.
there's no like time limit. It's just like, here's an outline. Okay, fit in this thing, and then you figure out, okay, how to do that. But then there's like other stuff. There's one where you have to push a button, and then a ball comes down from the ceiling, and you have to catch it and then put it in a hoop. And it's like, well, you're basically rectangles. So rectangles can't. First of all, you can't reach the button. It's like in a indent in the wall. So you got to cut out like a smaller part on one of the players. It's like, okay, so now you can like reach in and hit the button, and then another player, like one of you, has to have sort of a ball shaped groove cut out of your head so that you can catch the ball, and then you got to like stand on each other so you can get high enough to throw the ball into the hoop. And it's like, yeah, it's all kind of cool. Yeah, I think that game is pretty fun. What else did I play? Oh, Blaster Master has like a new version, I guess, which is an old NES game where it was cool because you were in a tank, but you could get out of the tank, and then you needed to get out because there's like smaller areas that only the driver can access, and you have to like go into those areas to find items and upgrades and stuff. And it's really neat because like the tank parts are 2D side scroller like Mario, or like 2D platformer like Mario, except you're in a tank that can jump. And then the on foot sections are like top down Metal Gear style shooter. And it's like, huh, it's really neat. But the demo is quite short, I think. not quite short. I just didn't play it that much. I was like, okay, I know what this is. I'll try it later. And then the final demo, I think there was only 5 demos. But Disgaea 5 I have somewhere on another system. So I didn't download that one. And what was the 5th demo? I cannot remember. But the last demo I played was Puyo Puyo Tetris, which is just Puyo Puyo and Tetris mashed into one game, like literally. So there's a mode where just like the timer, every time the timer counts down, it switches games. So you'd be playing Tetris, and then you'll switch to Puyo Puyo, and it's like a versus game. Very, very strange. And I was like, I don't know if I like this. oh, and like colors are like a challenge for me. So when Tetris I can do fine because colors don't matter. But then like playing the Puyo parts, I'm like, I have to go by their faces. So like, does that one have like those eyes? Like, oh yeah, that one is that one. Yeah. So the most actually we played is Snipper Clippers because my daughter at first it's weird. Like she was very excited and then she was like, no. It's too scary. It's too hard. You play. And so I was playing ARMS. But then after a while, like, I guess, that's how kids are. It's like, okay, now it looks fun, and now I want to try it too. And then, so yeah, as I was saying earlier, new hardware. You want to do new stuff. And it's the Switch. And I was like, I'm going to play this outside. And so we just, like, sat on the front porch. And we were just on the steps, and we were like trying to play Snipper Clippers, except in the afternoon, the front of my house is super sunny, and we just couldn't see the screen. And we like sat there and played for like an hour, struggling to see the screen. And I was like, you know what? We should go to the back of the house. And then, yeah, so the back of the house and played a bit more.
Did
ARMS
random smiley strangers like join you while you were outside?
No, I was hoping that might happen.
Then those commercials are a lie.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna play Nintendo Switch like on TV.
I have Switch too. Let's switch.
Somebody just like peeks over the fence. Did I hear a Switch?
Yeah.
What's happening right now? What are you doing? What's life? What's going on?
But no, that didn't happen. I was like, oh well, maybe next time.
Those are lies, and I don't appreciate
Maybe
that.
on a cooler day when people don't see us, obviously uncomfortable squinting at this little screen in the sun.
And stop the commercial, people.
That doesn't look fun. Take it to a basketball court. Do you want to play NBA 2K16?
I thought we're playing actual basketball. No! It's not on the Switch.
This is less strenuous. Unless it's sunny.
That guy's right. Everybody bring out your Joy-Cons that we mysteriously have for some reason. Yeah! Like I don't. What is happening right now? What is happening?
Yeah,
I assume that's how things go in Japan, though. People really do carry around random Joy-Cons just in case somebody has a Switch.
Just in case. Yeah, the Joy-Cons, like, they're tiny. And there's not really an obvious way to hold them. Like, a lot of modern controllers have an obvious way to hold them, right? But then, like, Joy-Cons do not. They're, like, so small that you can just kind of hold them however you want. Which is weird, but I guess it works. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then the thing I wanted to experience was the HD rumble, was the thing that they talked a lot about. And I was like, I tried it. I was like, I guess it feels like more refined. Like rumble in like DualShocks and stuff is just, it's like brute force. It's all or nothing, basically. Yeah.
It's like, well, this is happening.
And then in the Joy-Cons, it feels like, okay, there's like more than one motor in each one, and they're like, it feels like more, yeah, like more refined somehow. But then as far as, is it better? I was like,
Or was it high definition?
Yeah, like
is.
I was like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean in this context.
It obviously means how a rumble would feel in real life if you felt it.
I don't know. I think one of the issues is probably I don't really have any games that like were advertised like check out the Rumble in this one.
We don't really have a reference for HG Rumble to begin
Yeah.
with, so it's like, well, that was
like-
never actually a thing.
There, you know that game 1-2 Switch, which is all like the mini games that don't require a TV. They have one of them is it uses HG Rumble, and it's like, oh, you sort of move the Joy-Con around, and then try to figure out how many like billiard balls or whatever are inside of a box. You're supposed to be able to tell somehow by like moving the Joy-Con around. And it's like, so that'd be kind of cool. Like that's something you could not make a fun game out of without
HG Rumble.
Yeah.
You feel the balls.
Or they could. Or they
Advertising quote. Feel the balls.
feel the balls.
Like, I don't think this game is meant for children. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Just embrace the balls. Embrace them.
Or they could use the example they had at the end.
Put your hand in the box.
Where you shake it up and down, and it's a bunch of ice cubes, and it's like, how many ice cubes are in it?
Yeah.
You know how many ice cubes? How many ice cubes? How many ice cubes? And just call it how many ice cubes, because that's what their big example was when they showed it. It's like, you can tell
The
how many ice
rapper?
cubes there are. No, RPG, not the rapper. The
Oh, because I was like, there's only the one.
object that forms when you
Very
freeze
easy game.
ice in a freezer, in the cube thingies, container thingies, or whatever they're called, ice cube trays. That was to make ice cubes.
Oh, did you really forget the word for ice cube tray?
Well, I never used them, so I kind of did. But
But
then
I
it came
mean-
back to me.
I mean, it's just ice cube tray. It's not hard. It's literally called a tray of the item that
Well,
it's creating.
I have a very small palette of everyday objects I use in my life. So
You don't know what ice is?
I know what ice is. I said ice,
Because that's kind of sad.
but I don't really ever use it. So, whatever. I mean, unless you count ice cream, because I've been eating some of that lately on a normal basis. That's neither here nor
Ice
there.
cube. I'm really starting to think you really don't know what ice is. This is not good.
I know what
This is
ice
really not
is.
good. I don't know if I believe you.
It's bad when you freeze water. It's that. Turns to ice.
Are you sure?
Yep.
What's the density?
I don't know.
Exactly. You know nothing.
What's that even mean?
Exactly.
I mean the density is high
No,
because
you're wrong. You're actually wrong. Way to go. Ice is less dense than water,
Oh.
so you fail.
well, yeah, man.
Go back to chemistry school.
I was never good at chemistry.
Not a thing. Chemistry school is not a thing. Please don't try to look for chemistry school, people. Please don't try to look for chemistry school. It's not an actual thing. You may continue. I don't know why we were talking about ice, but
Well, no, it was that other game that I think is also part of the collection.
the ice touching
Where you
game.
guess how many ice cubes are in a glass by the HG Rumble. Oh no, it was the demonstration when they revealed the Switch, I think, and they were talking about HG Rumble. It's like
They were
you
just
can feel how many ice cubes are in a glass.
That's
Put your fingers in the box.
You can feel all the balls.
Guys, this Switch thing sounds very inappropriate. I don't know how I feel about this. Nintendo, you're gonna get some angry phone calls from a lot of parents. Like, my kid walked in talking about grabbing balls and putting his hands in boxes, and I was like, I don't know what kind of slang you're using, son, but this is not what we do in this house. We're a good Christian folk. And then next thing you know,
Yeah, well, I guess to leave off of the Switch, it is. I'm glad that Rabbids is coming out soon, pretty soon. also, there was a segment that Pactor did during E3 where he was talking about why Switch doesn't count in the console race, and he's like, because it's a handheld.
Handhelds
It's
are
like no
consoles,
one's using
though.
it on their TVs.
Unless he means home console, because
Yeah, it's not a home console, is what he said, and I'm like,
he's not a home console.
I've had it for a day and a half, and I kind of agree. Like, it seems weird to use it as a home console. Uh-oh. Yeah, like I've used it almost exclusively as a handheld or as a propped up screen and 2 wireless controllers.
It's a glorified DS, guys. It's a glorified DS or 3DS or whichever one they're trying to shill now. But they have a 2DS, so the Switch is just
yes.
there's just so much DSs. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So that's my new hardware story.
I want new hardware.
What else did I
that lets
play?
me
Oh,
embrace the balls.
I tried to finish some Telltale games because, like, I have a lot of them unfinished.
That also.
So I started with Guardians of the Galaxy because that is unfinished, and so it was the easiest to finish. Like, only 2 episodes, great. And I played the 2nd episode of Game of Thrones because I had left off on the first one and just hadn't gone back to it yet.
Jeez, Tropical. That is terrible. Because the cliffhanger on the first episode is so good.
I know,
It's
like the end of the
arguably
first
their
one.
best cliffhanger that they've ever done.
Why did somebody die?
I played Game of Thrones.
Well, considering it's Game of Thrones
episode
RPG.
1,
So
when it
the
came
answer
out.
is yes. Lots of people died.
And when that episode ended, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to wait a month to find out what happens next. And then I did, and then I never went and found out what happened next. Which was really weird. Like, I don't know if you've ever done this. It's like, it's been so long that the entire season is out, right?
It is.
Yep.
And it's going to be
And
free next
so-
month, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't remember who any of these people are. And I was like, I remember it was like another family
Never
who
I've never
was
done that.
canon, but like not, and
It's like, remember Lagerfeld when you betrayed me? It's like, I don't know who any of you are.
and then it starts with like,
Previously on.
no, it was a good thing that it starts with a new character that you hadn't seen yet, in the series. So it was like, oh, okay. So I don't know who this is, and I'm not supposed to or I kind of know who it is. Like, he has the same surname, so he's like one of them. But I'm also almost positive I've never seen him before because when it said previously on Game of Thrones, another dude said, I'm bringing him home. It's like, oh, so that guy's not home. And I was like, cool. And then, so... but no, this happened with, yeah, so it's basically the same feeling for both of these games. Like, I don't really know these characters. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy, I only know the movie versions. And I, like, read a few issues of the comic, and, like, the characters are really different
They are.
than the movies. So I was playing the Telltale one. I was like, I don't know how I should react to anything. It's like, I mean, I guess it's freeing. Like, you're supposed to react how you want to, but it was just like, it was very jarring. And yeah, sorry, Game of Thrones is the same thing. I was like, I don't know what my motivation here is exactly, or
To guard
the
the
motivation
galaxy,
is like so
obviously.
far off of what I would be thinking of in my normal life that I was just like, I don't know how to play Game of Thrones anymore.
It's like, we don't live in a society like this. Why would you
Yeah.
do this?
Of course we do.
Why would we?
Like,
Ours just has more technology.
favors, favors, and I'll do this questionable thing for you if you do this for me.
It's like, well, I mean, since you put it that way,
I think when I played episode 1, I was more in the mindset of Game of Thrones because I had just seen season 1, I think, recently. And then, but yeah, this has been a long time. And then playing it, I was like, oh, that's right. It's like, wait, why did that guy do that? It's like, who's that again? It's like, and then someone would show up and like be all ominous, and I was like, do I know you?
it's like, remember when you poisoned my cousin last year at the festival? It's like, I don't know what that is, and I'm pretty sure you just made that up. Pretty sure you just made that up. You remember the game of horses? It's like, I don't. That's what is happening right now. Remember when the dragon came and ate my soul, and then turned me into a Winterfell or whatever it is that my motivation is in this game, and or
like bringing me to places that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I remember when I was playing the first one, when there were sort of cameos from like people from the show, you'd be like, "Oh, cool, it's that guy." And but now it's like, I don't remember those people either. So I'm just like, everything is like, that guy's face looks more realistic than these cartoony people. It's like, oh, that must be a real person. I was like, I don't know who that is. It's like, he killed my family. It's like, is that what he did? Like, wait, who did that?
Like, who hasn't killed? Like, who hasn't killed everyone's family in this show? Like,
it's
really?
like, yeah, the previously stuff is helpful and also not helpful. It was pretty funny. That also happened with, well, so I only played, I guess, 3 Telltale episodes then total out of 2 series. And then I was like, I just got The Walking Dead Season 3, and I, for some reason, those characters, like, I remember them. And so I was like planning to play episode 1 of the 3rd season. But PlayStation 4 has a stupid thing where if you don't have a game installed, you can't download the save files for it from the cloud. If you try, it just says, oh, you don't have the application installed, so we're just going to cancel your request.
Rude.
And I don't have Walking Dead Season 2 installed anymore because it was from a time when I had to deal with like hard drive stuff. And so now it's like, oh, I can't import my file. I have to like download the other game so I can download my file and then import it to the new one and then delete the Season 2. But I was like, well, I'll check out this recreate a story thing. And it only asks, I think, like 7 questions. And I was like
You just made stuff up, didn't you?
No, like, I remember most of the stuff, but I remember them differently. Like, they felt different when you did them. And like, I guess it is a gripe. Basically, the part. Can we talk about this now?
No, because the game is coming out and I'm going to be playing it.
No, like Season 1.
Oh yeah, Season 1.
So
that's what I'm saying, though. It's going to be free next month.
I'm talking about Walking Dead now.
Oh, that I don't care. Yeah, spoil that away.
So at the end of Season 1, Lee gets bit, right?
What? I'm kidding. I already finished it.
There's the part where everyone is like, okay, well, we all know what needs to happen now because he'll turn. And I remember specifically choosing, like, for Clementine not to do it. And it wasn't because...
You're not a monster after all, Tropical. I take back all the bad things I said about you. Almost all of them.
You said a lot of bad things about you, by the way.
It was like...
Hey.
So I was recreating the story, right? And I was looking at it, and it said...
It's a mercy kill.
Yeah, at the end, it's like, okay, this is Lee, like, he's going to turn, and what did you do? And it was like, shot Lee or left him to turn. And then there's like a description blurb under each one. And under the left him turn, it said Clementine couldn't bring herself to do it.
Lies, because
And I was
mine
just
sure
like-
did. She's like, "Yep, you gonna die."
And I
So
was
that
like,
seems-
this is like a totally wrong interpretation of what happened in that moment. Like, first of all, you weren't playing Clementine in the first one, so like it's like you were playing Lee, and so like in that moment, it's like, yeah, this is your final moments. Like, this is the time to say the things that matter. And I was like, you don't want to tell her to do this at the very end. So it was more about, like, for me, I was like, this is more about Lee right now. But then when they did the recreate story thing, and it's just like, and I don't think it even matters. It's just like, did he turn or not? But it's just like the wording is like, oh, now that they're making it like, no, it was Clementine who was weak. And I was like, no, this was a choice I made.
My
it's
Clementine
like-
was a murderer.
Very
It's actually pretty
annoying.
cool on that, like
Not
on like when
something.
you're going through the other choices, because there's like so many different ones. As far as like, would you describe yourself as someone, or would you describe
yeah.
the thing that you would do in this situation? Would you be loyal to your group? Would you be a loner? Would you, or blah blah blah? There's like 5 different choices on some of them. It's like, whoa, this is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I think actually, like, maybe the dialogue did matter more than I thought, because it talks about
Because like it has like the parts like season 1 where it's like
yeah.
if you like stay with the group, or if you like go to, like if you don't want to stay with the group. But then like season 2 is more of like, is like with like the Kenny stuff of like, would you stay with your family, or like, or
Yeah.
like, I guess like the purpose from season 1 too of like with him and Kaja and Doug of like, you know, do you choose family over the group, or just lonely, or like solitude over being with the group and you're a loner. And then it's like some other stuff, and it's like, man, it's like it's cool, like the dynamics as far as like the stuff you choose and like how it fits into the, or if like that's, I guess like the choices in the game, like how they fit into those categories of like how you played, if you played it without doing the choose your own thingy at season 3, and like how like it took that stuff in those 2 seasons into this season just organically.
Well, even like season 1, the first question it asked is like, it was basically like, what did Lee teach Clementine? And it was like survival, like community or something. It was just like, it was about values.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like,
It was about
I don't
ethics in video
remember-
games.
yeah, there wasn't just like one situation in season 1 where it was just like Lee said it's about survival. Like, it wasn't like one choice. It was like a lot of different things. Like, it was kind of cool. Yeah, it did make me think, oh, maybe dialogue did matter more than it seemed. But then, yeah, like that part when I saw it, I was like, this really irks me. This keeps this moment, which is like, it was like the defining moment for me of season 1 of The Walking Dead. I've had so many problems with it. There was another time when, I don't know what happened, like maybe my file got corrupted or it didn't load the right file or something, and it was just like, it showed Lee say to her, "I'll miss you," as his last words. I was like, that is the dumbest thing to say.
Miley's last words were before I shot him in the face.
You're a terrible person. You're even worse than Tropical.
I try.
I was like, no, like, I was like, well, of course she's gonna miss you. Like, what can she say to that?
Actually,
All
I
she
think
can say is,
mine and yours are the same thing, Tropical, as far as like what we told our Clementine of like, don't be afraid.
yeah,
Because I was like,
Like-
oh, I did that too. He said that.
it's one of those things that is the smart thing to say. Yeah, it's probably too hard on people. Like, there was, I think Telltale did. It was a GDC talk maybe, and they were talking about like how powerful games can be, and they're like showing
Oh yeah, I
the,
remember that.
YouTube
Yeah,
playthroughs.
people's reactions.
And yeah, like people were talking about that scene, and it's like, I think all of them were like, "Oh, they shot Lee," because it's just like, that's the zombie world thing to do. And then, a lot of them chose "I'll miss you," and I was sitting there like raging. It's like, that's dumb. You all are dumb. You don't care what happens to her. You're just saying some stupid platitude at the end of your life.
Oh my.
And just like I predicted, Clementine says, I'll miss you too. Just like, see, what you gonna do with that? She can't live off that.
Proceeds to never mention Lee again after that. It's like, for somebody you missed, you really didn't seem to care much.
Oh man, really funny and sad, but funny. So yes, no matter what, I must get my save file. It is too important. Wow. Now I can't remember anything else I did. Oh, as an aside, you know that game that was on the Microsoft stage, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
Yes.
Sure.
Just like, well, I thought it was sort of like DayZ's PvP mode. But I watched a few streams of people playing it this week, and now I was like, I kind of get it now. It is kind of cool. It's basically 100 people in a 64 square kilometer map, and it's basically Hunger Games.
I volunteer as tribute.
It's either 100 people free for all, or it's you can have teams of up to 4 players together, and it's kind of neat. It's like just the way, or I guess after thinking about it, it's almost exactly like Hunger Games. Like you start off, and everyone's on a plane, and then you can like jump out of the plane wherever you want.
Hunger Games didn't start in a plane. Continue.
But then, like, the next thing that happens is you go around and you scrounge for equipment. And, yeah, like, sort of, that's how Hunger Games starts. Like,
You're thinking of Battle Royale.
Isn't that one in a school?
No, it's not in a school. It's from students who got taken for a quote-unquote field trip. And then it's like, LOLs, it's not a field trip, kill each other. It's like,
All right. Well, either way, like Hunger Games is basically Battle Royale.
It is.
Except for the whole world stuff around it. Although maybe it's Battle Royale. I never saw the second one. Or read any of the books and
The
stuff.
first book is like 900 and some change pages long, guys. I just want to point that out because I have it and I read it and I was like, this is way too long. And all of this is about a bunch of kids murdering each other. So it's like, well,
they could have done this as a picture book.
I could just go into the outside world and see that. It's funny because our world is awful. That's what I'm getting
Quick aside, if you'd like Battle Royale in American comic book form, Avengers Arena from Marvel Now is that in Marvel Universe form. So there you go. If you want to just see cadet Avengers kill each other on a secluded area in the Marvel Universe for survival.
Hey, kids.
They don't explain it. It's not weird. It's actually pretty cool. Continue your topical.
So they parachute in, you scrounge for supplies, weapons, and stuff like that, and then like you try to kill each other. And like the cool part, I think, design-wise,
is the murder.
How do you could easily just make it okay. Yeah, that's what you do. And it's up to everyone to find the other people. There's 100 people. I'm sure someone will find someone. But the way they keep everyone together is like they contract the play area every few minutes or so that it gets smaller and smaller. And if you're caught outside of
I like this.
the play area, like you don't insta die, but you get poisoned.
Darn. I was hoping it'd be like Gant style, your head explodes.
Now that is like Hunger Games because there's a play arena. And if you hit the wall, you get exploded, which is not healthy.
there's like vehicles and stuff. So if you're very far away from the safe area, you can still sometimes make it. And then yeah, it keeps getting smaller, and there's like random airdrops of supplies and random air raids in certain areas. So you'll be like in the red zone suddenly, and then bombs will be falling from the sky to kill you. But like you don't insta die from any of these things. Like, or I mean, if a bomb lands on you, you do die. But
Well, yes.
it's not like
I
the
mean,
entire red zone is.
it has a habit of doing that.
There's just a lot of them.
There's actually a
And
similar, I guess. I guess the whole battle royale thing is like popular in Japan because like there's a manga that's similar to this, except that everybody
yeah.
has like a special type of bomb, and it's like it's called like Batum or some nonsense like that. But like everybody has like a special type of their personal bombs, and they're like key to them, and it gets weird. And then there's like
Yeah, the game
It's
of
also
death
about
genre
ethics
is
in video
pretty
games.
popular.
Well, you know, when I thought it was a DayZ thing, like I thought much less of it because it was, you know, DayZ is that kind of game, but it's not very well structured. It's just like you're out there, and then what happens happens. And this one is like the structure is like it's weird to me that no one has done it yet because like Hunger Games made a lot of money. So it's like, how come no one has copied it for a game? And so it was surprising to see that this thing is basically Hunger Games, like copied very closely. It's like, oh, it's actually kind of cool. Like I understand now why this is popular. Yeah, so going back to, oh, that's right. I downloaded Final Fantasy 14 again because I got an email saying, "Hey, we're like ending support for the PS3 version. Here's a PS4 code, automatic upgrade, and 14 free days to play." And I was like, "All right then." So I downloaded. It took like, I started after the podcast last week, and I played it for the first time yesterday. The problem is, unlike most games on the system, updates don't download via the system menu. You have to be logged into the game for it to download system updates or game updates. And then I made the mistake of downloading updates and then like removing my external hard drive, my extended storage, and using it on another PS4. And then it was like, oh, sorry, you have to do it all over again. And I was like, no! So it took a long time to update. Finally updated it. And then found that my character from way back in the day is gone. And I was like, guess that's okay. I wouldn't remember how to play or anything. Anyways, I'll just start fresh. And man, I kind of want to play it now. Like, I had forgotten how good the game feels. Like, it's still very MMO stuff. So it's like, oh, go out and kill these woodland creatures. And then go kill these things and like collect their skins and then bring them back and you'll get a prize. It's just like, you know, it's that kind of game. But like, it just feels good to play. Like, it's more because I've tried to play WoW before, and it doesn't feel like combat doesn't feel chunky, I guess, because you're just like clicking a mouse and doing keyboard stuff. And then I chose like a monk type character, and like the fighting, even though it is like Final Fantasy 12 essentially that type of style, but it's just like it's sort of like the difference between playing PC MOBAs and Paragon. Like, Paragon feels like kind of an action game, but it's a MOBA, and it's not like just because it's like a shooter style, because like Smite is sort of shooter style, but it doesn't feel good. And like Final Fantasy 14, like it feels really good, and I sort of feel like I do want to play this. It doesn't feel quite as grindy as something like the Old Republic, and it feels a lot better than like World of Warcraft, and the story doesn't appear to be that interesting, but like gameplay wise it feels fun. It's like I'm torn now.
I'm all out of place. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm ashamed, lying naked on the floor.
It would be a pretty expensive thing to get into.
It would.
It's got subscriptions and it's got
all the expansions now.
Packs.
Yeah. But it is cool though, because I played it as well while I was doing the free trial thing.
How long is your free trial? Is it 30 days?
I think it's 30 days. Before they're like, hey, buy it. And I'm like,
well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So many things to play, and Paragon, which I did, that's the last thing I played, is free and endless. I played quite a bit over the weekend because I wanted to get a diamond chest from the like quests and stuff, and I finally got it, and then I opened it and it was all reputation, which is totally worthless now. There's nothing for me to buy with reputation except for more deck slots, and I'm closing in on 30 of them. And so my goal was like, okay, I'm just gonna get to 1 million reputation because there's nothing to spend it on. But it turns out maybe I will never reach 1 million unless I play a lot. Because every 3 weeks they release a new character, and then I buy the Master Challenge, which is 75,000 reputation, and it sets me back again. So I've been like hovering around 900,000 for a few weeks now. Yeah, new character this week is a sniper, I guess. His name is Wraith. He's got a rifle, and I usually take clues from the default deck that they start you with, and his is all like damage and mana, and he doesn't have any like area of effect attacks, so I think he's a support, but instead of like healing people, he
supports
just
them.
makes it easier for your team to kill them. So, yeah, I haven't really figured it out yet. I think RPG was saying earlier today when we were playing, I think by next week people will have sort of given up, because he's not very satisfying at like low levels. You have to be
basically full powered and
fairly decent, or like skill wise. Like I think the skill ceiling or the bar to entry is sort of low or high. Sorry. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're not having fun playing Wraith. And if you do know what you're doing, then I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet, so maybe those people are having fun. Yeah, it's very cool. He looks very cool. Like the aesthetic is really neat. But it's sort of, so there's like wards that everyone can carry as equipment, and then he has like a sonar pulse thing which sort of functions like them, except that they actually mark enemies and you'll like see their outline on the map for several seconds. And then his sniper shot goes through walls, so those like work in tandem. And then he has a unique ability where he marks someone and then they like teleport back to wherever they were 3 seconds prior.
I've mostly just been using it for trolling because I don't know the actual use for it yet.
When I was playing against PC, I was able to like hit people and like get them to like they would always end up in really poor positions. And so it's just like, huh, I think this is working. I can like if I hit them at just the right time, it will teleport them back to somewhere they don't want to be. And I was able to do it pretty consistently against PC players or against like AI, but against humans so far, I haven't really figured it out.
They're a bit more wacky. Although it does, I mean, like when I used it to like telekill Kwong when he tried to like get away, because it's like you could teleport them back into the towers.
Yeah.
And then murder them or teleport them into a position where your teammates can like ambush them in waiting or something. If you like turn everybody invisible and then like, oh, let me lure you out, and then just like LOLs, they're all in the jungle waiting for you because you were there 3 seconds ago, and then
Yeah, see, so like his
Destroy, yeah.
ultimate ability does no damage. It just like turns him invisible, and everyone else allied to him invisible as well, as long as they're close by. So it's kind of tough to use. Playing solo, you just sort of use it to escape. So you push a bit further than you should, and then you just disappear and then run away. But AI doesn't use wards, so they can't. Like they have a hard time finding invisible people.
they're like, well, Barry's gone.
But humans are more
More
prepared.
persistent.
Yeah. Before that, though, like the big thing this week was that a lot of the new characters they introduced recently were very powerful, and they sort of weakened them significantly.
Powerful, depending on how you use them anyway.
Yeah. There was like, the way I built this one guy, you could basically two-shot anyone by the end. So you do one thing, and it would do like 900 damage. And like the highest amounts of health you usually have in this game are like 16, 17? Not that much. So if you hit them and you do 1,000 damage,
You're basically murderizing them.
yeah, it's just like one more shot. Well, even a basic attack will do. By then, it's like 600 to 800 damage. So you do your two skills, that does 70% of their health, and then you shoot them once and they die. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't easy. I had to do lots to get to that level of power. But yeah, I suppose that is a bit overpowered.
Yeah.
And the other guy was like, she had an auto-targeted move that you could get it up to like 600 damage. And so you just walk over and just willy-nilly pull out the move, and you don't have to aim it. You could just
Not to mention,
hit 'em and
like,
oh,
the
600
cooldown was like
damage.
ridiculous for it. So.
Yeah, it was really short. So, and then the support character we were talking about earlier in the podcast, not this podcast, earlier in the series, who has basically all of the things that you don't want happening to you. She could slow you, blind you, heal her allies, pull them out of danger, like the ultimate support. Yeah, they had to take some of that away. It was too crazy.
Yeah. It made me sad because I basically made my teammates invincible, and they were just like, no, we can't have that.
This is too much.
So they like severely nerfed her powers. So it's like, yeah.
She doesn't heal quite as much anymore. The blind thing, I think, was what most people complained about, because you would spend like,
because 3 seconds is a long time to be blind
like
in this game.
70% of the fight you would be totally blind. It was like, I have no idea what's happening. I hope I'm still alive. I hope everyone around me is alive. And like the area of effect was just so big. Because if you were linked to someone else, then they also did the blind flare. So it's like 2 flares. you catch the whole other team. It was overpowered.
There's no such thing. It's just called using your
It's sad
assets
that
properly.
This is true. Well, I think for Morigesh, like the one with the mark, I think they intended for people to use Swarm more, which is the thing that lets her run through enemies and hurt them and then get health regen. So they reduced how much that one costs by a lot. It used to be super expensive, and now it's like kind of okay.
I think because most people just use Swarm like as an afterthought. Mark was so powerful,
Yeah.
it's like mark somebody and then stab them. It's like, well, I don't need these other abilities because what's even the point?
Like
What's
just
even the
keep
point?
going until you can't, and then run with Swarm. What else was cool this week? I think that, well, so this was a thing that happened. Usually they release on Tuesday, but then this week, and our guess is like because of some of Wraith's new mechanics, the patch was delayed because it was like really unstable or something, and so they didn't release till today. And then we spent a lot of time checking it out today. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yay.
I wish I was playing VR too. Listening to Tekken talk about VR was like, oh, you should get Battlezone, the tank one. We can play co-op.
Isn't that
Sort of.
I'll probably get it anyway, though, just 'cause it's like $20. So.
Yeah, like the sale this week is super good for VR stuff. So many of the VR games I want to try are on sale this week.
Yeah, it's like super annoyed because there's like a bunch of stuff that's like VR that's on sale. And there's like other stuff that's like not VR that's like I also want to try out. But then like it actually turns out this is like a 2-week sale. So I was like, oh okay, so I can like buy
Oh,
some stuff
really?
now and then wait until we get paid again and buy some more stuff.
Wait, is it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's until the July 11th, I think.
That's exciting.
On the Twitter on PlayStation tweeted it out. Because at first I was like, oh man, there's so many games, and like the last 3 weeks of sales have been like so good on PSN. Because like the E3 sale was like amazing, and then the next week there's like a ton of stuff that was like really good, and then this week it's like even more stuff. Or it was like double off last week, and then this week it's like another week of like a ton of stuff that's really good on sale.
Also, well, I guess we'll get to that in the news. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. RBG, what you been playing?
I can tell you what I haven't been playing.
Just can you?
Nintendo Switch and PlayStation VR.
Basically, yes. But yes. So I've been playing a bit more of God Wars. Now that I've started to move through a bit of the story stuff and everything, we actually have a party. So I have more characters now. So far, you can, like, each character has, like, 3 classes that they can equip. Well, kind of. They technically have 2 and then a unique one that you can't change, but the other 2 classes you can change as you see fit. Yes. And those level up during the thing. So you can have warrior, priest, / whatever unique class they have, and have, like, all kinds of cool little abilities and stuff. And then as you level up more, they get... that unlocks other classes like samurais and invokers and all these other things that I don't know what they actually do yet because it's not that kind of invoker. Like incantations type of evoker and like
summoners
and all kinds of nonsense easy. So you get to customize your characters and how you see fit and change their way. And anybody can equip anything or any weapons, so you don't have to necessarily have a priest that uses staffs if you don't want to. You can make them use axes because that's what my priests do. Because I don't care. I don't even care. So
that's what I do. Unconventional play.
So sure, she's supposed to be a bow user that fights from the back, but I was like, nah, it's fine. You can use clubs. This seems right. This seems right. So, but yes, So far, it seems to be like the guys are on a quest to find this girl's mother or whatever, because she sacrificed her youngest daughter to the volcano at the beginning of the story because reasons, and then that happened. But so they're like, hey, why'd you do this, mom? And she's like, sorry, GTFO, I'm gonna disappear, and then no one's heard from her since. But so it's been an so they basically doing that for now. But uh, you along the way you meet some angry gods. They seem super nice and everything.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me.
And then some of them get all angry and go cuckoo banana pants. So you're kind of like going around trying to figure out what's going on and all that fun stuff. So, and they have like animated cutscenes, but they also have like these manga-like scenes that are like semi-animated but not. And it's kind of cool because it's all nicely drawn and everything. I was like, oh, they should have more stuff like this. But yeah, I didn't screen capture any of it, so I can't really tell you. I can't really show you what I'm talking about. You just have to take my word for it and understand that it looks cool and I like it. So there's that. But yes, it's been interesting so far. Other than that, I finished up Life is Strange last week, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just sad.
What'd you think
And
of
then
the
there's also this whole
cliffhanger
unwanted
on
stealth
the
section that I didn't want.
on the episode before last with the whole in the shadows with the needle? It's like, whoa, that was super creepy.
Wait, what?
The part with the needle, dude. Remember when or the part with the person with the injection and like they make when what's the
When
main
that one
character's
guy injects Max,
name? Yeah, that part.
and then
that was
somebody
and
else
then, he'd wake
gets
up in the
something
dark
bad to
room.
them.
That was like, oh man.
I was actually more like not too happy about the whole death thing that happened. I was like, oh no! After all that work I went through, and then this happened, and then Max also said the same thing. I was like, right? So
Then you got dark room and it's like, it's going to
then you
happen
went into the dark room, and then you had to do even more work to get that person back again, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much work, which actually led to the whole ending too. And I was like, she does have a point, and I was like, maybe it's your time. Maybe you should just die horribly. So I ended up sacrificing said person because I was like, well, I can't like sacrifice a city of people for my own selfish purposes. So it was sad. It was very sad.
Doesn't that make it seem weird that the second season is a prequel with said character?
Yeah, now I see what you were talking about. You're just like, oh, how are they making a sequel? But then it's just like, oh, because it's a prequel, that's why. But I'm guessing it happens before this incident
With
where you
people
actually
who only have the same faces but
Voices.
different voices. That's creepy too.
that's actually a plot point in Persona 5. But that's aside, I think, yeah, I'm not sure how the prequel is going to work though, because even though it's a prequel, because of the way the ending is, well, I mean, depending on if you chose that ending, because I don't know what happens if you choose the other one, or if they'll just railroad you into like choosing the darkest timeline. But I was just like, how will that work? Because technically, if you chose like this way to do stuff, then that person wouldn't technically exist unless this takes place in an alternate reality or something. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird. So I guess, I mean, it's only 3 episodes too, so I guess you'll see how she really mucked up things, basically. Worst time traveler ever. So, but yes, I wanted off that roller coaster ride, and I'm glad I did, because I was like, oh my gosh. Life is not happy. Life is not happy at all.
And
but
then,
it
like,
sure is strange.
The ending where it's like, here lies Bleeplarp and we are here today. And it's like, man, this couldn't get any more sadder, could it? And the music's playing and it's like, man.
Oh, I did like the music in the game though, like the little folky kind of like do 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 do, and then there's all like I'm super sad and I'm singing about sad things. It's like I know I can feel your sadness, but yeah, I did enjoy the little that little folky music thingy. It's kind of cool. Because it always happened, and then like how each episode ended on like a semi cliffhanger with something weird happening. Because you know, life is strange. Get it? Get it?
Aha!
Get it! That's basically what the game was doing. It's just like, get it, get it. It's like, oh my god, yes, yes, don't nod. I get it, I get it.
All of the strange.
So yes, it was strange. How far did you get, Tropical?
Episode. Oh no, 2. Episode 2.
Wow.
Yes, I also liked the music in the first one. I don't remember the music in the second one, and I don't know if I've been further than that.
The music's all the same folky stuff, so the little independent indie do 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 singing about sad stuff.
It matters.
Sad stuff. Kind of like the stuff you would find in like Juno, but like sadder. Back when LMH was doing all those movies, those kinds of things. That kind of music, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
Maybe they pronounced the band's name as Sad Matters. Because they're sad.
Get it? Get it?
Yep, that's another one I gotta finish.
You do. Because it's free, so there's no excuse. Even I played it now at this point. When Tekken was talking about how amazing it was and how it was the best game ever. And I was like,
I never said
relax.
that.
Relax, Tekken. Tranquilo, brah.
That was our best gamer. He was all like, it's game of the year.
I remember Tekken saying something like, it's not Telltale.
Yeah, let's say
okay.
he did say that. He did. But it was enjoyable. I mean, I could have done without the stealth section in the game that nobody warned me about. That went on far longer than it needed to, and I kept having to rewind, and that wasn't working. I was like, well, I give up. So I'm never finishing episode 5 now. So there goes that. But then I eventually was just like, F it. And then I went the opposite direction, and then I finished that one part. Because there's like a part where the principal statue is like rotating, and if it sees you in the spotlight, it'll send you back to the beginning or whatever. And I was like, okay, this isn't working. I keep rewinding. Nothing's working. I hate this game. I hate everything. I hate life. And then, yeah, that is what happened. But yeah, I ended up finishing it finally, so that was good. And I was like, oh, but then they left me with a decision that I didn't want to make, and it was like, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? And at one point I was like, I mean, everybody in this city is kind of trash, but at the same time, probably not going to be looked upon fondly for the whole genocide thing. So, because I mean, it's part of the reason why people don't like Hitler. So, I mean, probably not a good idea.
I also like the part, or not the part. I like the just like the constant foreshadowing of like, oh, there's a giant tornado storm thing approaching the city. Don't know what's going on. We'll see what happens. And then it just like escalates and escalates and escalates of like.
I just about to say
it'll be fine.
About this thing that's been building for 5 episodes. We never really talked about, but time to make a choice. Good luck.
And then when they kind of like go over the reasoning why it happens, it's kind of just like, holy crap. That does kind of like play into the whole butterfly effect kind of thing, because it's like people always talk about just the single thing that'll maybe that butterfly flapping wings cause a hurricane to destroy the planet. I was like, well, that's a little far fetched, but okay. But then it ends up they kind of like go over there and it's like, well, it's kind of true, because it's like you changed all these things, so now it's like anything could have happened because of this and 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 then the darkest timeline. So it's like, well,
that's what the series is about, isn't it?
Basically, yes.
Chaos.
The darkest timeline. I think one of the episodes is called like Chaos Theory or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
which is basically true
Butterfly
because
effect.
yeah, because it's like this is so true. You cause all this stuff to happen, and I was like, oh no, do I have to make this tough decision? Am I gonna have to Clementine this thing? And then I had to Clementine this thing, so I was like, welp, we had fun, and yeah, you saved my life that one time, but I guess I have to let you go. But and and I was just like, this is happening. It was kind of sad because like I actually sat on that screen for like a while because I was like, I don't know which one to actually choose.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was thinking, RP's going to do the nuclear option, isn't he? He's going to do the nuclear option because he's that type of person. But he didn't, and I'm surprised.
I was actually no. I actually thought about it. I was like, but can I rewind this after I do this? Because like that is all. So I was like,
How's it over?
oh, are we still going? I don't know the rest of the song except for that part. So, but yes, but yeah, I actually thought about it because I was like, I sat on the screen for a while. I was like, man, if I weigh my pros and cons on this, it's like, do I do the whole Thelma and Louise
It's
kind
like,
of
save
like,
one, kill entire city, or either option.
because that's like at the end of the day, I mean, the one girl that was decent, they already committed suicide. So I mean, at this point, might as well just go ahead. But then I was like, maybe that's not
RPG. All the other people, like the cop in the diner, who's just doing
And
the job.
they're all faceless mooks. Faceless mooks.
Hey, they have faces.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Tactical. So yes, I was just like, yeah, well, this is happening now. So I sat there for a while. I was like, I even put my PS4 in rest mode because like this is a big decision. It's like, what do I do? It's like, what do I do?
My
It's like,
Arkham Knight moment in the DLC.
it was weird because I'm like, this really should not be that serious. It's like, it's a video game. It's a video game. What am I doing? What am I doing? Just do something. So I was like, eventually I was like, all right, I have to choose the right option for once and not be Clementine. And I was Clementine to a degree.
Hey, don't put this on her.
Hey, she killed Lee. So, you know, I had to.
That was Lee's choice, not to be killed.
No. She chose to murder him in cold blood.
What? That is not how that works.
Did in my blood.
That was his last request. That wasn't exactly how that.
Cold-blooded murder.
Well,
Cold-blooded murder. My Clementine is a murderer. And she regrets nothing.
well,
She almost shot a guy with a baby.
Gonna be...
She was all like, let us in. We need help. And then I was like, nah, bruh. I'll kill you. I'll kill you dead. But it's like, but we have a child with us. And I was like, did you not hear me just say I kill you? He's like, but we really need food. I was like, back to answer one, bruh. Back to answer one. And then they're like, fine, we'll leave. And then he turns around and he had a gun in his back pocket. And I was like, see what you almost did? Yeah. Glad I didn't let you in. So yes. That happened in mine anyway. I don't know how it worked in the other ones.
Yeah,
But,
it's like me, Chapticles, and RPGs. Clementines are very not the same. I mean,
Mine
Chapticles
Kind
are
of awesome,
RPGs.
actually. It's what you want.
RPGs, not so much.
Telltale, you've done it again.
I like murder. But yeah, so that's how that went. So I might pick up season 2 for Life is Strange. Although then again, if this one went free, the other one might. So I might just hold off until it goes free and be like, I played both of these seasons for free, despite the fact that they were pretty enjoyable, and I actually probably would have been okay paying for them. But you know, I don't like to be depressed, so there's also that. And there was that whole thing with the darkest timeline. So, actually, a lot of the timelines are pretty dark. Even, like, the good one.
Yeah.
Ended up, like, it's like, well, I mean, this is not as bad, I guess. Like,
So in Life is Strange, like, do you guys watch all of the outcomes,
No.
like, regardless? Because she always is like,
but what
maybe
if
I
I
shouldn't
do?
have done that.
Like I
No
do that
matter
some.
which one you choose, and you're
It
like,
dep
dang it.
I do that sometimes, depending on what it is. Because like there's like the moment where it's like, well, you'll get to it later, but like there's like one where she lets this guy beat the literal crap out of this other one, and she's like, maybe we shouldn't be so rough on him. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So I rewind and then stopped him from beating him. But then I was like, you know what, I actually don't like this guy. So then I rewound again and then just went ahead and did it. Like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this outcome. So yeah. But yeah, I do that
I
sometimes.
do it
Although
sometimes, but I don't do it all
it
the
depends
time.
on the scenario. But like with the guy with the dog,
Or
like when
most of
I
the time.
was asking, I was like, I needed that assist from Tekken, and I was like, nothing is working out. She keeps shooting him, and I was like, I don't know how to fix this. So there was that moment when, but then I was like, you know what? Screw it. He can get around fine with a bleeding leg at least. At least he's not dead. So, you know, little victories, little victories. So yeah.
And on that one, did your Chloe shoot her dog or his dog?
Yeah, well, during one of those scenarios, yes.
Because I think in mine,
Because I told you I rewound like 7 times
I can't
before I
remember
actually.
how it went down, but
like,
I know the dog at least died, and I was like, well, that's just gonna be the way it is. Because Chloe's that's just how Chloe rolls. Because she is a bad bitch.
She is. In all fairness, the dog did come charging at her,
Yep.
so I
It's like
mean,
self-defense, dude.
it had it coming. So then in the next
put it on
rewind,
leash.
I was like, hey, could you close your door? Your dog is dangerous. Of course, it still didn't work out because he tried to attack me, so Chloe shot him, and I was like, well, this is just not working out. Rewind. So, it's like, so the next time I was like, okay, we got this. Now throw away the gun. Also tell him to close the door for his dog. And then Chloe got killed. I was like, God damn it. And then I was like, rewind. So it's just like a whole. I was like, all right. It was like one of those episodes. There was something like that on TV I saw before where just like somebody kept on. They kept like rewinding because something wasn't working out. So they're just like rewinding the day or whatever. So, and at one point they just got tired of it. So they kind of just started doing random stuff like goofy things. And they're just like, it doesn't matter because we're not going to make it through this anyway. And
Groundhog Day.
No, there's like a TV show that did it. Because I've never seen Groundhog Day. But yeah, there was a TV show that did it. And it's just like, and eventually the people were just like, I don't even care anymore. And then that was pretty hilarious. But yes, and then he was just like, I was like, okay, this is not working out at all. So I was like, okay, let's try this again. So I was like, keep the gun, but tell the guy to close the door, but don't get mad at him because then he won't like get aggressive. So I tried that, but then I said something about something and he just got mad at me this time and attacked. And I was like, so she shot him and I was like, she shot him in the leg. And I was like, you know what? This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I don't. There's just no scenario where this works out perfectly, so I
Close enough.
Actually, I think in my scenario, she probably did kill them, and I was like, well, I'm kind of trying to get to the bottom of this investigation. Now, time for this, so that was your fault, dude. So yeah, whatever. Don't mess with us. We got time travel on our side. And I'm not gonna rewind for you because you're a jerk and drug dealer, so you would have ended up like this anyway.
It's true.
So,
I think that's part of what happened to us.
or not.
I was like, why do I care how this guy ends up? He's a drug dealer for crying out loud. So eventually, when she shot him in the leg, she's like, fine, just take the account. I was like, this works. This works. I'm okay with this outcome for the most part. It's like we got out mostly unscathed, then we got our gun back. So you know what? This is fine.
Yeah, and I was like, I think she owed him money, so I was like, he probably would have like tried to like do something to you anyway.
Exactly.
So it's like better to put this the situation and get it resolved now instead of have something worse happen later. So yeah, check off the list. Let's continue our investigation into where Amber Rose is at, or whatever her name was.
Rachel Amber.
Rachel Amber, yeah. That was man. I'm not gonna say because Trump hasn't played it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that ended up being kind of a mess too. And I was like, well, you know, I don't know with this game anymore. It's like there are no good outcomes to anything, just the good enough outcomes. And it's like, you know what, this works. This works. So I basically settled for most of it. Just like this will do.
all you played RPG?
And then I picked up Valkyria Revolution because it had Valkyria in the title, regardless of what it was, and I was like, I have no choice. I have to indulge, just in case this means they'll make an actual proper sequel.
I did the same thing.
So I was like, it's fine, Sega, you win this time. I won't be happy about it. So
we both know.
Continue.
Yes,
It works for everything.
it does. It does. So yeah, I started playing that. It actually has a lot, like it shares a lot in common with, I mean, it's possible that it might have, after people had like a negative thing with the demo, they might have actually changed a lot of stuff, but in terms of, I mean, for the most part, even though it is like a spin-off or a side thing that they say is technically not really a part of the series, it's like it does share a lot of things in common with it, because it's like the lore with like everybody being so reliant on Ragnite and stuff is still there, but it's just done in a different way where it's like, I guess, kind of like an alternate timeline, if you will, because it's like there's an offshoot where it's like, oh, people started using this for like special engines and stuff like this, so they developed this and this and this and this happened. So then it's like it became like a resource war as opposed to like the weird, I just want to conquer everybody because I'm Germany in this game, but we can't say that because, you know, people might get offended. But so yeah, so there's that. But it's like not only that, it's like it's still kind of told in like the storybook style, or in the storybook style. I think is probably like a shout out to the original game. So it's like when you play the game, there's like this lady telling the story to this guy, and he's like, and then she's like, oh, where did we leave off? And then she'll like open up the book and start telling him, kind of thing. So whenever you like try to see like the previous cutscenes, it'll like you can open up the book and like see them over again, like you did with the previous game and stuff like that. And the art style is like, it's weird because it's like it's semi similar to the previous games, but it's like fully like 3D rendered though. So it's like it's kind of weird because it's like it semi retains the art style, but at the same time it doesn't. But it has like the paint, like if you look closely, it has like the kind of like art, the watercolor style thing going for it, but it's not completely the same. But it's kind of hard to describe. But yeah, the battle system is, I guess, like where it mainly differs, because obviously it's an action RPG and not a turn-based strategy game like the previous titles. So but I think because it's an action RPG, the focus is on the melee weapons, as opposed to the other one, which is more like guns, because, you know, it was World War, wait, is it 1 or 2 in Valkyria? It doesn't matter, you're Poland. So so you're
Either war sucked for them.
I'm about to say, it's like either way. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So but yeah, it's it was so anyways, like, so the game, it's like it's not like fully action RPG ish, because it's like they kind of made it so that it's not hack and slash, because you still have to, because there's like an action bar that each character has, and they can't actually do anything until it fills up, and each time it's like you can only do like the one action. It's not like you could just keep on spamming like attacks or stuff like that. And in that sense, whenever they do like regular attacks, it comes out as like a string of combos, but you can also choose from there's a battle menu where you can choose actual weapons, like the guns or the grenades from like the previous games, and it'll like pause the action so you can like throw the grenades into cover or use the guns to like shoot or headshot the people and stuff like that. So it's like it has elements of the previous game, but it's like it's just happening all at once in real time, so you don't have control over all the characters separately like you did in the previous games. And you can also switch to the characters on the fly, so you can be whoever you want to be. So
but you're only one character at a time, basically.
But you're only one. Yeah, you're only one character at a time, so you don't have to worry about like the command points of the previous game to like select your character, and then they act, and then it's like basically everybody moving at once, and AI controls the other characters when you're not in control of them. And there's a system similar. Well, I mean, the potentials are still there from the game, where it's like they have these little side stats where it's like, oh, this person has terrible night vision, so in night missions their accuracy is lower, or they have less MP or whatever, and stuff like that. And but there's kind of like a system similar to, well, I don't want to say, like, it's not like super similar to it, but it's kind of like the Gambit system from Final Fantasy 12, in the sense that you can like customize what they prioritize in battle. So it's like you unlock different ones as you go through like training missions and other stuff, so they can prioritize melee weapons or guns or healing or things like that. So you can like put them down. There's like a tree that you can like list the things on, and then they'll focus on certain things in battle. And so you don't have to like necessarily be in control of them. And then you can also alter like their I think they call them orders in this game too, where they can either be defensive, support, or offensive, and that kind of like alters what kind of things they do as well. So there's like some degree of customization to the characters' roles and everything. But it's so far so far it seems pretty easy, but it's like I'm still pretty early in the game because I'm only like on chapter 1. But I'm guessing it's probably going to get more difficult as you get farther into the game, like with the original Valkyria Chronicles, since obviously they have to do tutorial stuff before they get into the weird stuff. So, but yeah, so far I kind of enjoy it. I mean, I know a lot of people are probably going to hate it because it's obviously not the same as the previous game. So a lot of people are probably going to be like, I don't like this. It's not
what I wanted.
It's not what I wanted. So it's like I can guarantee like most of the reviews are like, this is the worst game ever. I hate it. Sega, you're the worst. I don't want anything to do with you. And it's like, well, it wasn't. It's like this game it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. So I don't know what's wrong with you. But then that's kind of how it is with most games for me. It's like I'll end up liking something and everybody else will hate it, and be like, well, oh well. So we'll see how that goes as I get farther in. But I've been enjoying it so far. It's so I mean, we'll see. We shall see. But I mean, I've never had anything against action RPGs to begin with, and like I said, I do kind of wish there was an actual, like, a normal sequel to it, because since we never got 3. But this will do for now until they decide to give me what I want.
That's all you've been playing.
And I think that's all I've been playing, other than Paragon and Final Fantasy 14, which we talked about already. So,
what level are you?
On what?
Final Fantasy.
Level 9.
Okay, so you're further than I am. Well, because I was playing Final Fantasy when the Switch got delivered, and then like I just totally forgot what I had been doing before. And so, yeah, I hope I was in town. But it like auto-logged out after I was AFK for a long time.
Whoops.
It's funny. I guess it's time for RRR. Rapid release responses. Are you ready?
Yep.
Was born ready.
Basically, we go through the list of releases for the month of July based on releases.com. Why did we choose this place? Well, originally they had amusing truncated descriptions of the games. So after we get the rapid yes or no, there's also a I don't know what that is. After which I read the truncated description, and then there's like a second round of saying yes or no. From that description, you should be able to tell that this is not mostly for informational purposes. It's mostly for entertainment purposes, because sometimes the titles and this can get weird. So, should we start with the I don't know. We would have done that one already. So on to July.
Woohoo! Whee!
The first game is coming out on July 4th. It's You on PS4.
It's You?
That's You.
Oh, that's You.
That's you.
I have no idea what this is.
It's a game about you being you.
Kind of. Welcome to an irreverent party quiz where you and up to 5 of your friends and family get to find...
I heard party and I was like, I'm out.
Like Mario Party? I love
It's
it.
more of a trivia style party.
I love it.
Okay then.
This is one of the PlayLink line. And it's part of PlayStation Plus next year.
I was about to say it's gonna be free,
That's
so
why
that
I
means you could
heard
just
of
go
it
ahead and
before. That was one of the E3 games. Okay.
yeah, so you could just play it and see if you like it, and if not, then you can play it anyway and get over it.
Or not, because I have no friends to play with, so.
Well, I think it's done through smartphones and apps or something. So,
But I think it's local.
oh, who has local
So-
friends?
Exactly.
We're so sad. July 6th, I believe that is the Thursday of that week. A game called Toby, The Secret Mine
That
for
sounds
PS4
inappropriate.
Doesn't sound very exciting.
and Wii U and Xbox One and
But when you
PC.
said Wii U, stock kind of went down, just saying.
So,
Everything except the Switch, basically, which is fine.
yeah.
That's
I have more to say about that on next week's episode.
All right, then. Moving on, July 7th. Excel World versus Sword Art Online
No, thank
for
you.
PS4 and Vita.
This actually seems like it's going to be
This is a fighting
kind
game.
of interesting. No, it's one
as
of
versus
those
Cross-
well, only because they're two different properties in the same where it's like similar to
God Warrior. I mean,
like
Monster Hunter,
like the
God,
dot hack
whatever.
kind of games.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Because I mean the series are both pretty similar to the dot hack series too. So I mean
Alright.
that's why. So
Oh, Dot
I-
Hack did it first and better, so get out of here.
I am interested, but I'm probably going to just wait until like when it's on sale or something. Cause
Cheap.
yeah, because just in case. I mean, I haven't seen Excel World in like forever and a day, so I don't remember most of the characters. But yeah, it should be interessante since they kind of both play with the whole virtual virtual world thing. Although Excel World's a bit more. It gets weird. It gets weird.
I wish that was a Netflix genre on movies somewhere.
It gets
gets
weird.
weird.
Gets weird. I'd watch all of them.
It's like I'm all in. All in.
Or like series or like TV shows or movies. Yeah, it's like this Netflix option. It gets weird. No, this is my favorite because stuff goes down and then it gets weird.
It's like I see you liked this. You'll love this because it gets weird.
July 11th. Hunting Simulator for PS4 and Xbox One.
I imagine this is hunting animals
Easy.
with guns. So pass. No, thank you. Not worried. We're not interested.
But we love simulators on the podcast.
Not my cup of tea.
Then on July 11th, Minecraft Story Mode Season 2.
Oh, this is a Telltale game, so I'm totally gonna buy it when it's on sale. ... Because I haven't played the season one yet.
Out on everything except for last gen, which includes Wii U.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to pass on that because gross.
Maybe. I have Season 1. I should check it out. Another
Yeah.
Telltale game I need to get through. Defenders of Ekron? Ekron? PS4 and PC.
No idea what this is. Sounds fantasy-y, which is kind of right now for me.
I don't know.
Welcome to the Technocratic Republic of Ekron. This top-down 360-degree shooter messages.
Oh,
Nope.
It's a shooter. Well, that could go one of two ways.
I don't like those top-down shooter thingies because they're
Yeah, it
just
sounds like a twin-stick shooter.
Yeah, it does.
yeah. Hard pass on that one.
Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age.
No. Because
I want to try this one
quite
again.
possibly one of my least favorite Final Fantasies, and that's saying something because 7 exists. So I am
Wait,
not.
which one wins?
Oh, 12 is just awful. Because I mean, at least 7 had like likable characters. This one just like 12 has Balthier and Fran, but everyone else kind of blows. So it's kind of like, well, there's no point in playing this because those are side characters basically, and the story is told from the viewpoint of an extremely annoying little boy. And I'm like, this is kind of the worst. And then the battle system's slow, the story's garbage. It's just not good. It's just not a good game. And then it's just, I mean, it's like it had so many good ideas on paper, and then it turned into that. It turned into that. Because like the Gambit system and the license thing could have been like such a good expansion on like the whole sphere grid thing from 10, but then it was just executed poorly. Because like, why do I have to unlock something and then still buy it in a store to even use it? It's like, what's the point? And it was just dumb. The whole thing was just dumb. And the limit breaks are just random, and it's like, this is not fun for me. This is not fun for me at all. I said after playing it for like 50 hours. And I was like, okay, I've played this long enough to realize I don't like this. So, yeah.
All right, then. I'm going to give it another chance.
Don't.
Continuing on July 11th, Black the Fall for PS4 and PC.
Well, that's just racist.
And Xbox One.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know what it is. I was just kidding. So I don't know.
An immensely atmospheric side-scrolling action-adventure for PC and digital consoles set in a...
I don't do side-scrollers.
Yeah.
I bet it's like Deadlight
Oh.
or Limbo or something like that.
Yeah.
The cover is it's like black silhouettes and red background, and it looks like slave labor, maybe.
Oh my! Well,
So maybe it is racist.
Good. Yeah.
Nope. Because I just finished watching Dear White People as It Is, and just like I don't. I'm not doing this. The series, yeah, I didn't see the movie.
Wait, there's a movie for that?
Yeah, it's based on the movie.
No, I didn't know that. Because I saw the Netflix series too, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was a movie when you said that.
Yeah, it came out like a few years ago.
And then lastly, on July 11th, Serial Cleaner for PS4.
No, I saw the trailer for this. No, thank you.
This doesn't. How does one? What's a serial cleaner? Like what?
It's kind of well, it's not exactly a stealth game, but like you kill a bunch of people and then you like clean up the scene before the cops arrive or something. It's
You're a cleaner,
Yeah,
like
I think
a
that-
cleaner. That's different.
Not like the professional.
Like the cleaner, like the cleaner. That kind. Oh, I thought you meant like a cleaner, like I'm gonna clean this stuff up with bleach and a mop because it's dirty in here.
Nope.
Oh, that makes slightly more sense. So it's basically like Hitman.
Yeah. Well, it's a different graphical style though. It's like a 2D isometric game,
Oh.
or 2.5D.
I mean, I wouldn't play it regardless because I'm awful at Hitman due to the whole stealth thing. So
I like those Hotline Miami games.
Yeah, it's very much in that vein of action, weird, or tons of violence and stuff.
Moving on to July 14th, a game called Rogue Stormers for PS4 and PC and Xbox One.
Rogue Stormers. Do you play a rain cloud or something? That just doesn't.
An action-packed platform shooter mashed up with roguelike and RPG elements.
Well,
Correct.
you said roguelike. I'm out.
Just threw everything in there, just like all of the genres, guys.
All
Give
of
them a
the
car,
things.
make it a racing game too. Like, I don't know how this works.
July 18th. Orcs Must Die Unchained
I think
for PS4
I'm not
and
sure
PC.
if this is the same version as the old one, but if it is, no thank you, because I've seen that game and it just does not look interesting.
That's the one where you set like the traps and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
because I think I was semi interested in it, but then it was like on the Xbox or something. I was like, well, oh well, I'll just never play it. So.
Children of Zodiarcs for PS4, PC, and that's it.
They just made up that
What?
name. Why couldn't they use the Zodiac?
I know. A new single-player tactical JRPG, collectible cards,
You
craftable
said the
dice
magical words,
combined
tactical.
with cool.
I didn't care
I
about this
heard-
game, but now it's
I
on my
heard
radar.
JRPG.
I heard tactical JRPG.
It's called, was it Kids of the Zodiac? What was that?
Children of
Zodiac.
Zodiarcs.
Zodiac.
Kids of the Zodiac.
Oh, it says it's from Square Enix, so it might be another perspective
Double
titles.
deliciousness. There is hope.
How would I have not have heard about
Hidden
this?
gem, maybe?
Oh, because it was on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's one of their
That's
indie things,
why.
probably.
That's why I didn't know what it
Possible show
was.
stealer?
It combines dice with things, guys, so it's like an actual like RPG. I've never actually RPG'd before, guys. I would like to, but I haven't. I would like to tabletop RPG one of these days.
I almost did. We got as far as character creation 4 and PC. Yep, that's it.
We'll see.
Wait, did you just say a name of the game title? Because your mic was being weird for
Yes. Oh, Yonder: The Cloud Catcher Chronicles
me. Oh.
for PS4 and PC.
Does this actually involve actual cloud catching? Because that's not physically possible.
Yonder is set on the massive island of Gemea, a lush frontier with 8 distinct environments ranging.
Well, they took too
So,
long to get
I
to
don't
the-
know.
to
Maybe.
to the thingy. So
What is the
There are
box art
clouds
look
on the
like?
cover.
Mm,
It's like overexposed, so the sun is sort of in frame, and there's like sort of clouds to the right, and then there's like a grassy terrain with trees on it.
I have no idea.
There is nothing distinctive on this cover. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's no Children of Zodiac, that's for sure.
Haha, and we're back.
Yay! Wow, there's, according to this site, there will be a week where there's nothing else coming out on. Of course, that can't be true, because just
Video games
so
are
many
always
games
coming out.
nowadays.
Mm.
Yep. But yeah, since we're using this, we move to July 25th with Pyre coming out on PS4, PC, and that's it so far.
What is that?
Pyre is a party-based role-playing game where players will lead a band of exiles through an...
Tabletop RPGing?
It's not a tabletop RPG.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. I saw it in It's a throwback to the JRPGs though of the olden times. But yeah, I'll wait for a sale because I'm not buying anything in July anyway. So.
Or is it like the games from similar to that Transistor and those kind of things?
It's those guys.
Oh, it's those guys. I never did finish Transistor, but that game was interesting the way it was set up with the whole powers and stuff. That was actually kind of cool. So I might actually look into this because it might be kind of awesome. But who knows? Who knows how this goes?
Next we have Avon Colony, PS4, PC.
Colony? What?
Build a new home for humanity on a world with low oxygen atmosphere, extreme electrical.
Yeah, I don't care about base building crap. No, thank you.
I love base building, so I'm not buying this.
SimCity in space. Also coming out on Xbox One.
Extreme.
Oh, and then Fortnite coming out on PS4 and PC, and Xbox One and Mac.
It's funny because I kept seeing the trailer for this at E3, but I would never like watch the whole way through, and I'd always have the sound off because I was like, whatever, I'm not getting that game.
The trailer was like informational.
It's very long,
like infomercial style. Yeah.
Time to sit through this. So, what's going on
Show
in
me
the stream?
cool things. Show me cool things, and then I will consider it. Yes. But no, I am interested in that one.
I mean, it's only been in development for like ever, so at least they'll have polish.
Yep. I think Cliff Bleszinski still worked at Epic when they announced it.
Yeah, he did.
So that's like over 8 years, I think. Super Cloud built, PS4 and PC and Xbox One.
Didn't we just do a cloud game?
I know. July
Maybe
is the month of
thing
clouds.
is the new,
This new grappling hook?
It's the new bow and arrow.
The new bow and arrow, new grappling hook. The new
pirate game.
Ugh.
Although really, there was two. I don't understand. People were like, "There's so many pirate games this year."
There are so many pirate games this year.
They would just be like, "Yes, Sea of Thieves. Oh, that's like Skull and Bones." Like, man, there's so many pirate games like Sea of Thieves and like Skull and Bones.
And like that other game.
Like, that's two. Yes. Super Cloud built.
No.
What is it? What description?
A young soldier awakens in an abandoned building in the center of a strange new world, disconnected.
Well, that could be anything. Pass.
What is it?
Action platformer coming from Double 11. Wow, July 25th has a few more. Fallen Legion, PS4 and PC. Sorry, PS Vita. Not PC.
It's a Vita game.
Sorry, PC.
Yeah, I don't know what this game is.
Fallen Legion is an action RPG featuring hand-drawn 2D artwork and an intense battle system.
That sounds interesting.
I'm assuming that was going to be system.
Action and not turn-based, so...
Possibly.
Intense.
It's intense, guys.
System.
So you know that means... It means a lot of heavy breathing and sweating. Bow-chicka, wow, wow, indeed.
Let's see. The next one would be Color X Malice? Or, no, they probably read it Color Cross Malice on PS Vita.
I don't know what that is.
A dangerous shadow organization launches a campaign of fear and violence in the city of Shin.
Ooh.
But what is the game like?
Oh yeah, that's true. Didn't mention like the genre at all. I mean, based on the name of it, it sounds Japanesey, so there's a good chance that it's going to be an RPG of some sort, or some kind of weird action adventure game.
Yep. Probably. It is. There's a very fancy box art that defies description, but it's from Axis.
Oh, Axis.
AKSYS.
Yeah.
Is that
so? Then,
that one?
So it's definitely probably like a RPG and/or
rated
action
M
adventure
for
title.
mature. And PlayStation TV compatible.
Wait, rated M.
Ooh.
That's
What's the name of this game? Something cross something?
Color Cross Malice.
Caller? Like you're calling somebody?
No,
Like
like
a dog.
the thing around your
so it has animals in it, maybe, or slavery,
Or slavery.
or animal slavery.
That's just called a pet.
or BDSM.
All right. That was the last one that has a set release date for the month.
And when is this
These
game?
are the leftovers that we don't know when they're coming out, but the assumption is they'll come out in July.
Oh, it's a visual novel.
Ew. Thank you.
So I actually might be interested in this one then. Oh, never mind. It's made by Idea Factory. F that noise. They are the worst. They are the worst.
The first game is Archangel, coming out on
Yeah.
PS4 and PC.
Day one. That's
That
one of
is
the
this
reasons
one.
I got my VR headset, because I was like, I gotta get me a mech game, and they had a mech game, and I was like, oh, it looks good. I can't wait to play it.
Super pumped.
Is that the 21st?
It doesn't say.
No, just July.
I'm sure some site says maybe, but this is just July. Then there's Tokyo 42 coming out on PS4,
This sounds
Xbox One, and
amazing.
PC.
What is it about?
I think it's out on the other ones. Set in a future Tokyo, the game will see you become an assassin and uncover
Oh,
a
yeah,
dark
I forgot this
conspiracy.
one.
Oh, I can't play it. If it's Assassin, there's probably stealth elements.
Very old schooly.
It's like very isometric. Like very isometric.
This sounds awful.
Dead Core for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I have no idea what this game is, and it sounds like they just stuck two words together, just saying.
A platformer FPS hybrid blending exploration and speedrunning. In this futuristic
You had me until you said speedrunning, and I was like, that sounds cool, but then I was like, no thank you, at the speed.
Yeah, I don't speedrun.
Eh.
F that noise in the B.
That's a hardcore thing.
In the
That's why it has core in the title.
And then finally, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is going to be released.
B.
Activision knows
Yes!
they can stick
Xbox One
that
and
game,
PC.
and the
I've
money
been
they
waiting
make
for
off
this
of
for so long.
That was
He said sarcastically.
the first cool one.
it. However, if it was Mario Warfare 2, oh man, the fun times we would have playing multiplayer on that again, with our turtle power shields. But it's not.
Oh, yeah, you guys did used to love that. I remember that. I can't wait until September is my response to that.
And those are the releases for July.
Yeah, the only thing I'm for sure getting in July is a new Nintendo 2DS XL. Cannot wait.
I'm still on the VR train, so I'm very happy about the sale this week. And next week, apparently. And then, so I don't know what I'm getting in July. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 12. I may give a shot.
Don't do that.
That being said, that
Don't do
Zodiac or Zodiac Children, can't wait for that. That sounds interesting.
Children of
Yeah.
Zodiac.
The Kids of the Zodiac, that one.
Kids of the Zodiac.
That game.
It's a murder mystery thriller. Children
actually-
of the Zodiac.
That actually makes it more interesting. I am all
That's
about
not what this game is.
Oh. Well, I'm sad. now.
Now, a brief what you've been playing interlude. In the first section, I got to play as Wraith in Paragon and did super awesome. And then my game crashed, so I got no credit or rewards for it.
Oh no, because we won that game.
I know, it was like right near the end, and then my game crashed. And I was like, I was 9-0.
Hey, I set you up for most of those.
I killed so many people. playing PC because PC is like AI runs away, so they'll engage for quite a while and then be like, oh, now it's time to run. But then like you don't run away because I'm just gonna pop you back to where you were, and then I can snipe you from so far. So
I'm sad now.
and that was a What You Been Playing interlude. On to the news.
Do. It's
So
the news.
Yes. In the darkest timeline. That's the kind of music you get for the news.
Dun, 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 dun,
In the
dun,
darkest
dun.
timeline.
Darkest timeline, darkest timeline.
Yes, I believe the biggest thing that happened this week that everyone was talking about was Nintendo announcing that the Super NES Classic, is that what it's called?
Yep.
A mini Super NES, just like the NES Classic, is going to be released with a pretty large list of games, but the one that everyone's been talking about is Star Fox 2.
Yep.
Which was a completed game for the Super Nintendo back in the day, but it was never released. So it's weird, but this year, 2017, we'll see, like, they have to change the history books about when the last NES game, Super NES game came out, because it's coming out this year.
Weird.
Also, makes you wonder how long they're going to milk this whole mini console thing.
Yeah, they have a few more.
And will they do it every year?
A mini GameCube? That thing was already really small. Oh, it's going to be like a Rubik's Cube.
I already have one. Technically.
Soon it will be mini console Inception. You get a mini Wii, and then it has Virtual Console on it, and you'll be able to play NES games
A mini
on
Wii.
your Wii Classic. Crazy.
The mini Wii U. It's like it'll never end. It'll never win. It'll never end.
It's got a lot of like pretty games like you would think of as classics on the Super Nintendo.
Except for Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is not on there. But
Laos.
Final Fantasy 3, that surprises me
And
that
Super
that's
Mario
on there.
RPG. That was cool.
Yep.
But then I went onto the Virtual Console on my Wii I have, and then I saw that there is not Yoshi's Island on the thingy, so that's actually a reason to get it. So I was like, oh, well, added to the list.
Also, there's two of them?
No, I mean, like, Yoshi's Island isn't on the normal Virtual Console.
Right.
So-
So, wait, most of the games are on Virtual Console, aren't they?
Yeah. Most, but not all of them.
Well, the word is they plan to make more than 2.73 million. That's an oddly specific number, but I think
That
that's
is oddly
probably the
specific.
number that of the NES Classic that they sold.
So they want just enough for those people to get one and then say F everybody else.
Well, so last time, like, I did want the NES Classic, but I was just like, oh, this is just going to be a thing that they make. Who knew they would just kill it after a few months? So this time I might have to fight for one.
Yeah, this time it's like I didn't want to
Yes,
initially
violence.
because it's like, dude, it's just 8-bit games, and I have most of these on the Virtual Console anyway. And like the ones I don't, I could just buy. And it's like I think I'll just do that anyway, just to be like, well, I have them on my Virtual Console. But this one, it's like Star Fox 2, and like, you know, I am with Star Fox, and it's
Yeah.
like never released. And then like Earthbound's also a very rare title that's like very
Yep.
hard to find for like $80, totally worth it. And Yoshi's Island, which is not on the Virtual Console, and you know, I'd like to check that out. So, just saying.
Digital Foundry did a like comparison of the different emulations, and apparently, like, the NES Classic is better than the Virtual Console, but not as good as the like best emulation hardware that you can get. But for the price, $60, it was like the best overall, because the emulation hardware stuff is like hundreds of dollars, and you have to either own the original cartridges or be unscrupulous and like download them somewhere. Download ROMs.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like it sucks with the Wii, or like the first Wii anyway, since Wii U is the thing. Is that the connection for it is a composite or S video, and like there's no HD output, so you can't hook it up to an HD monitor. So I was like, I found my user manual, I was cleaning my apartment, and I was like, it has composites. I like lost it because I was like, I could hook it up to my Wii and play virtual console games now. Yes, how did I not know this before? And then yeah, that got me. I was already juiced after Metroid Prime 4, so I was like, I'm about to play me some Metroid Prime 4. So yeah, that was a nice whatchamacallit revelation I found that day. It made me happy. And I saw the Wii startup screen for the first time in years, and I was like, it's alive. It still works. Yes. Good job, Nintendo.
PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection games for July were announced.
Oh, Dev. Something, something, something. Because there's a theme song in that game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, Until Dawn is going to be the headliner on PS4, along with Telltale's Game of Thrones game, 6 episodes that I'm currently playing. Yeah,
basically, because probably
for free.
And for free.
And then the third game is That's You, which is part of the PlayLink line of games. It's basically Smart Glass, but less pretentious, I guess. You hook up a bunch of smartphones to your PS4, and then you play these sort of little party mini games.
I would also say for the Telltale Game of Thrones, it probably has like the most variation of any other games as far as like how your ending can be. I mean, before we get to the end of season 2 for Walking Dead, 'cause it's like just crazy the amount of, because it's 6 episodes and there's so many branching paths, and it's just man. And then in the ending, like whatever you get, like there's a dynamic ending that plays that's like animated, super awesome. It's one of the best ones, so yeah, totally worth it. But I would say we're not going to get a season 2 of that before Wolf Among Us 2, just because there's so many crazy choices that can happen. And it's yeah.
I think Game of Thrones is ending. The TV series is ending this year, or maybe next year.
I think it's whenever
whenever it happens. Yeah. On PS3, be getting Tokyo Jungle, which was very fun.
It was weird.
It's about surviving in post-apocalyptic Tokyo
as a Pomeranian. Yeah.
Initially, anyway. And you eat other dogs if you can kill them.
It gets wacky.
It's fun. The other game is Darkstalkers Resurrection, fighting game, PS from Capcom. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Finally on Vita, there is Element 4.
I don't know what this is.
It's also on PS4. It's a fruit collecting arcade score attack game.
The hell?
I don't know. And the other one is something called Don't Die, Mr. Robot. And I have no idea what that is either.
It's obviously about a robot not dying because it wants to, but it can't self-terminate or something. I don't know.
It's the prequel to Detroit.
It is.
Oh, wow, speaking of Detroit, it's kind of interesting that both the PS4 games are like in the choose your adventure style games of like something could happen or not happen. It's all up to you. I think I heard fireworks outside. Am I? Yep. Okay. Continue.
It's too soon. Too soon. Get a calendar.
Someone just can't wait.
'Cause fireworks. Yeah, we've been talking about the sale a lot. There is a mid-year PSN sale right now, and it is super good. Like if there was a game that you missed, there's like games that I missed that I don't remember that I missed. That I saw on the sale. I was like, oh wow, now it's really cheap. And I didn't even miss it because I didn't even remember that I missed it. And so now, yeah, basically, you should go check out the sale. There is a lot of really good stuff. And in addition to that, I guess Green Man Gaming is doing a sale on PSN money.
What? I didn't know that.
So you can get 10% off PSN money by using the code 10OFF PSN, all one word, and get cheaper money to spend on cheaper games. Pretty cool. Also, I believe the spend 100 get 15 back promo money is coming soon. I believe it will be. Oh, it actually might be after the mid-year sale.
Yeah, I think I actually picked up the PlayStation Worlds VR in the mid-year sale, that and God of War 3, because I had money in my wallet, but I only had like $19 or something, and I was like, well, I was going to get God of War when it's cheap again, and it's cheap again, it's like $3 or something, it's ridiculously cheap, and I haven't played through it, so I was like, well, it's in the backlog, so I might as well play the awesome PS4 version. And PS4 or PlayStation VR Worlds, obviously, because I just got the PlayStation VR, so,
It is so good. PSVR. Yeah, there was a lot of VR games. That's why I was like, oh, this is very exciting. And Tekken just got it. And like Battlezone is cheap. So maybe he'll get Battlezone. And then we can co-op.
And then Riggs is cheap. Did you say Riggs was good? I don't remember.
It's okay. Like it is very much a sports game.
Yeah.
So
Battlezone is what the
Battlezone is the tank one.
tank.
It's like a tank game.
You kids and your tanks.
Speaking of sales, the Steam Summer Sale is also going on right now. I think it ends next Wednesday? Pretty soon. It's pretty short. There's a lot of good stuff there as well. But the thing I noticed was all the hardware is really cheap this time.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can get a Steam Link for like $15.
I was like, there's no Steam machines here. Whatever.
Yeah. Steam machines were never going to be that cheap.
Thanks. You failed us all. That's in some PlayStation 4 Pro just saying.
Maybe. I think PC technology is like changing so quickly. Like the new Nvidia cards are so much better than the ones that were out last year. It's just and like cheaper. It's just ridiculous.
It's like it's so weird because that whole process has put me off of like PC gaming like indefinitely, because it's like there's a point where it's like, oh, like every time you think it's like, oh, this is a good time to jump in, it's something else comes out and it's like, well, I'll just keep waiting and just keep waiting. So that's what I've been doing. It's like PS4, man. Just PS4 it, Tekken. Just PS4 it this June, and then you'll just be able to reap the benefits later on.
Pretty much. I guess the Destiny 2 early access beta starts July 18th.
I don't
What
actually
people
care.
care about. I guess that was the news I have.
All right. Well,
I could only remember the sales and Super NES Classic. September 29th, I think, is the release date. If it's anything like last time, there weren't pre-orders, right?
nope.
You just had to go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
fight.
I was checking eBay, and I think they're selling for like $300 or $200, and I'm like, dude, I'm not paying that much for a Nintendo Entertainment System.
I could get one of the super ones that way, yeah.
I was like, dude, I am not paying this much for something that's playing old games that are not worth this price. No, thank you. Not worth it.
Or if there was any fairness in the world, you could get 5 of them for that much.
It's like, or Nintendo could, finally sort out their crap and just like have a virtual console on the console that they have out at the current point in time, which they don't. So it's like, thanks Nintendo for your nice bait and switch game that we can just see as what it is, and just like, oh, we're going to give you no old games except for in these stupid whatever we're doing. yearly
Yeah.
yearly plastic things you don't really need that are super overpriced, but hey, we know you'll pay up the dues because we have our fans and customers by the bleep blarps, and we'll never let go. Just got taken. Ha ha ha. How painful it is, because they're the one that didn't end up letting go. We knew he'd come crawling back, and he did. We could sense his passion and lust for Mario when he saw that E3 trailer. We knew he'd win Odyssey, and we know he does. We just need 2 more games, and we got him. That's it.
Oh my.
Because that's all we ever do. And now this 1 game year plan, or maybe 2 games, or 1 game, and we hit it a game, but we know we'll eventually get enough of you that will turn a profit this gen, unlike that Wii U fiasco.
Ah.
Maha.
Oh, I guess we can end on this then. So we just did RRR, and actually, apparently, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is out now. It came out yesterday.
It's on PS4 only, or is it on everything?
Yeah, maybe it's only out on PS4 right now, and it's coming out on other systems in July. I don't know. I know it's definitely only on PS4 because the original was on PS3. So why would it be there?
Yeah, it's like $50, which is a rip because that game's old.
Yes.
And they didn't do a lot of touching up in that game. That's no Shadow of the Colossus remaster, just saying.
Well, they actually did do a lot of stuff.
Oh, well,
But
it doesn't look as good as Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I don't know about 50. Activision and their remasters cost a lot.
Yeah, like their current Fall of Cybertron for $25 on sale, and I was like, whatever, I'm not buying this until it's under 20.
They released it at 50, I think, or like 60 or something.
Yeah.
I know they released which 2 were they? Oh, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance thing for 60.
Yeah. They did not get the Shadow of the Colossus treatment, just saying.
They are the bravest publisher out there
Or greediest.
when it comes to raising prices.
It's like, just put out, we know that somebody's going to pay and we'll make money off it.
Someone will buy it. We got this.
It's like, yeah, if Sony has a 50% rule, they have like the 20% rule of like, well, how much does it need to be? How many do we need to sell? Just 20%? All right. And then we'll just mark it down. Sell it at a loss. Or sell it and make a bit.
It's only on PS4 right now. Huh. Did you hear a beep?
I did not hear a beep, no.
I did not either. Stop going crazy.
Oh no, I'm going crazy.
Okay, well that is it for this episode. Check us out, aimlesspodcast.com, Aimless Podcasts on YouTube, or Aimless Babble Z, one of those two. Just Google us, Aimless Podcast, Aimless Babble Z. You'll find us somewhere out there on the internet. Or not, whatever. Yeah. Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Shazam! Shazam!
Anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
I almost turned into a superhero.
I just thought
the
to
wrong
say that
thing.
was dangerous. Lightning all striking everything and whatnot. No.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, on the internet, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, other stuff, just Google us, and maybe you'll find us.
Other stuff. Yes.
So yeah, until you hear from us again, Aimless Babble Z, and we're now signing off.